5th in the ACC, 39th nationally in kickoff return average at almost 23. And here is an exciting young, this is the junior redshirt Sterling Hoffricker who will kick it away. And Dortch will signal for the fair catch. And Wake Forest will scrimmage from its 25. But James, that guy is electric right there, the redshirt sophomore from Richmond, Greg Dortch.
Yes, sir. Good to see him out there and healthy when it comes to offense. The big numbers here for Wake Forest. 3 is the magic number, Greg Dortch. Just a sophomore, 5'9", 170-pounder, all-purpose yards. Syracuse lucky he didn't decide to run that one back because he's as good as they come. Number 1 in the ACC, number 4 in the nation, all-purpose yards.
Matt Coleman in the backfield with Sam Hartman, and away we go from Winston-Salem. And nothing right up the middle. Maybe a yard. Kendall Coleman, part of a very impressive defensive front we'll talk about all afternoon for the Orange. The first guy in the white helmet today that the Syracuse team is sporting.
Well, Syracuse in the loss to Pittsburgh, tough time stopping it.
There's Colburn slipping to the boundary for about 8.
Ground attack West has been, it's been the weak link. They're good up front. Best part of the Syracuse defense is that front defensive line, but they have been gashed a couple times this season on the ground.
3rd and short. Wake Forest is almost 42%, but James 31% at ACC play. Syracuse, by the way, holding opponents in conference play to 28% on 3rd down.
How about that?
Hartman throws and batted away. Alton Robinson, the defensive end, got a hand up, and 3 and out go the Deacs on their opening possession.
Great start here for the Orange defensively, and a great job by Robinson. If you're not going to get there, you extend, get those hands up, mirror technique. And that shows a good use of the hands early on in that rush, because if you don't use your hands, you let that offensive lineman get his hands on you, you don't have that ability to extend and separate and go up and knock it down. Big 3 and out for one of the best in the nation on 3rd down defense.
Sean Riley only has 8 punt returns on the year, but he's averaging more than 20 yards a return. He does have a touchdown to his credit. Maggio's first punt of the day. And Riley will play at the 25. And a nice play by Bachman. Alex Bachman, the wide receiver, covered the punt. Just 42-yard punt and not much of a return for Riley. And we've got a Syracuse player injured out near midfield here in the first minute of play.
And I think there was a flag. There should have been anyway. There was a block in the back right in front of the official. There is a flag that they're kicking out now.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 32, receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So that'll push the Orange back for Dino Baber's first possession when we continue from Winston-Salem. Here because the folks here at Wake Forest do a phenomenal job in sports medicine. Syracuse as well. And they're combining here to do the very best for Tyrone Perkins that they can. And Dino Babers and his staff briefly went to the bench area, and clearly a little more. This is a fallen teammate, James, in a situation like this. These guys train together, practice together, spend a good bit of their college careers together. And in the case of Perkins, this is a senior on this roster of a team that went bowl eligible last Saturday night with the win over NC State.
Well, and it's also a team that's been through a heck of a lot when it comes to injuries and off the field issues. Rex Culpepper, the backup quarterback, right, now a tight end. He beat cancer in the offseason, and they rallied around him, and they'll rally around the rest of their guys. But good to see him getting him up on that cart and going to go get him better. You know, it kind of reminds you, look at this Wake team, speaking of overcoming injuries and doing a little something. They did the small intestine puncture that was the big news. Greg Dortch last year, he missed the last end of the season. You know, still led the team in just about every category. That was a scare. But they're in good hands around here. So get better, Tyrone.
Yep, absolutely. And so Perkins will be taken from the field. The penalty for the block in the back has pushed this opening possession for Eric Dungey and Syracuse back to the 15-yard line. And of course, the minute the flag was thrown, our attention went onto the injury of Perkins.
You're going to have decent field position, and really that third phase special teams, Dino Babers has been thrilled with the way they've played, but they've also got to play smart, and that was a block in the back right in front of the return man, right in front of the official, so an easy flag thrown. Came out a little bit late, but came out nonetheless, and they'll start right here at their own 15.
Dungey goes to work. He'll keep it. First play of the game, and slide for 4 yards. They'll mark him to the 19. Chuck Wade, the converted wide receiver, was there to cover it for Wake Forest. Second down and 6, and throw over the top of Sean Riley, incomplete. And there's a look at Riley, and James, boy, they couldn't say enough good things about this guy, could they?
Little big man, 5'8", but man, he can make some big time plays. He'll get hidden in some of those big bodies. That time he wasn't tall enough to go get that high hard one from Dungey.
Third down and long. Stepping away from one. Now we'll throw for Custis. And incomplete. No flag on the play. And defended by Strnad, the linebacker. And he and Custis with some parting words. Well, and Syracuse goes 3 and out, James.
Well, this should have been a flag. Strnad, you know, he's beat. And he knows he's beat. He never turns around to find the football. He's straight at the defender, and he does a good job of fighting to get back there. But he doesn't play the ball and runs into the receiver. That's a catchable football, and I can't believe there wasn't a flag thrown.
So here's Sterling Hoffricker to punt, number 1 in the ACC, 18th nationally at 44.5 yards. Into the first quarter wind and off the side of his foot. It'll jump into the orange bench area. And Wake Forest looking at a plus field start on their second possession after just a 28-yard punt. And gives us a quick chance to look at the forward keys to the game today.
Alice Cooper took care of us with the keys last week and kind of all over the place with the forward keys this week. But nonetheless, they're very important for Syracuse. Don't give it away now. Red hot chili pepper style. One of the best in the nation when it comes to turnover margin. They've got to continue to take care of it and take it away. For Wake Forest, Jane, stop this crazy thing. I went with the Jetsons, a cartoon catchphrase, because that's what it's been. They haven't been able to stop anyone defensively and get off the field. They did it first time out, though, at 3 and out.
Here's Cade Carney getting the carry to start this second possession. Evan Foster, the safety, crashes down to make the stop. Foster's got 54 tackles. Third on the team coming into the ball game. And now here's Hartman on the keeper for the first down to the 32. Ryan Guthrie, the linebacker, after a 10-yard gain.
First down, Demon Deacons.
Got that defense spread out, plenty of room there in the middle, and Hartman, the freshman, taking advantage of it.
Hartman wants to throw, now in trouble. Cannot get away from the pressure, and that was Guthrie, the Mike linebacker. Loss of 3 on the play. Boy, Syracuse flowing hard to the football there.
Well, and doing a good job. Disciplined rushes, staying in their lanes. If you can't get there, don't go bailing out and freelancing.
Quick throw, trying to go to Dortch. Incomplete. Guthrie again. Boy, Ryan Guthrie's made all 3 plays.
Well, Guthrie, 8 tackles against NC State last week, doing it on the ground against the run and showing you he can defend the pass as well. That's a tough guy to handle coming across the middle, but you also have to know where number 3 is defensively on every snap. Here's a third down and forever.
Going to hand the ball to Carney, and he'll get about half of it. Down to the 29-yard line, 7-yard run. What kind of decision process you think? Well, Dave Clausen's not making any decision. He's got his offense on the field.
Yeah, and right away.
Fourth down, a quick snap. Hartman wants to throw. Here's Dortch, caught. First down, Greg Dortch inside the 10 and tiptoes to a first and goal at the 5. Andre Cisco, who's got 4 picks to lead the Orange, was the guy that got picked on.
Well, he got picked on. He fell coming out of the break. A nice little cut by Dortch. You know he's going to run that route, break it off at the first down stick, and you know that Wake Forest is going to be looking the direction of number 3 when all the cards are on the table. Good play.
First and goal. Hartman wants to throw, and Bachman was there, but his jersey got pulled by Scoop Bradshaw.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Well, it's first and goal down there anyway. And this one is a little bit high. And, you know, Bradshaw feels like, hey, if he's going to beat me, I'm going to live to play another down. It'll be a fresh set of downs, though, and closer to the goal line now.
Here's Carney. Boundary side sweep. And Carney lowers the shoulder and scores for the Deacons. Gunny fourth down call to Dortch. James pays off.
And just like that fourth down call, you got to know they're going to Dortch. If they're down there knocking on the door, you got to know they're going to 36. He's got now 14 career rushing touchdowns. 9 of them have been from 1 yard out. 9 1-yard touchdown runs, and now 6 this season.
2-yard run by Carney, 7 plays, 47 yards, and under 2 minutes for the touchdown. Skibo's point after is good.
How about that? Wake Forest gets a big stop on defense. They go for it on third down, and now the Carneys are in the end zone. The Carneys are...
And by Bad Boy Muller. Well, part of Matt Colburn's 20-carry, 243, and 3-touchdown day at Louisville last Saturday brings us back to BB&T Field. 7-0 Wake Forest. Deacons got a plus start territory to their second possession. And you get a look at Darren Ford kicking it away here over the top of Sean Riley's head. And the Orange will scrimmage from their 25. And there's Cade Carney. James, 6th touchdown of the year.
On both Cade Carney and Matt Colburn, who we saw coming back from break, 2 guys that coaches say just play with chips on their shoulders. Carney, everybody wanted him, but they wanted him as a safety or a linebacker. He wanted to run the football, wanted to score touchdowns. That's what he does here in Winston-Salem.
So now Dungey and the Orange, who kind of sputtered, to be honest, James, in their first possession. Back at it here in possession number 2 and find themselves trailing. Dante Strickland. He'll get 11 on first down. Sternad, the linebacker. The tackle.
Well, and this is where it could get ugly. If Syracuse chooses to be, there's an injured Demon Deacon.
That's Demetrius Kemp, and that is not good. Last thing Wake needs is another injury on defense, guys.
Of the 7 scholarship linebackers, and they've got Kemp as a rover. He's really in that linebacker mix. But of the 7 scholarship linebackers, they're missing 5.
And 2 weeks ago at Florida State, we're missing 6, right?
Yeah, missing 6 at Florida State, and when he gets
friendly fire.
He gets hit by his own guy.
Sternad making the tackle, and oh man, look at that. Tough break.
Let's hope he's okay. But it's been all kinds of ugly on the injury front for Wake Forest. They've got Luke Masterson, who they had to move down from safety to play a linebacker spot. Just trying to kind of hold it together. There's some electrical tape. I was going to say duct tape, but the black tape probably looks better with these unis. There's Masterson.
Ryan Smenda, freshman from Orange Park, Florida, has come in to spell Kemp here. Dungey, short toss, and this is Strickland. Oh, cannot find the edge there. Nasir Greer. Wow. Who had 7 tackles in the loss to Clemson, 6 at Florida State with a stop there.
Watch him make up his mind. He's going to blow this up. Man, this is pretty football. And you know what? This is the football. Whenever we come to Wake Forest 2 years ago, that you got a whole lot of that. That great defensive play has kind of changed a little bit here now.
Dungey and Riley can't flag that down. Well, you can hear the wind whipping around here at BB&T Field on this chilly first Saturday of November. And Dino Baber's quarterback has sailed a couple here early.
Well, you know, and there's a perfect example where Riley can help you and take advantage of being a little bit shorter. But there you'd like to have a big old guy that can go up and and pluck it in those tight windows. So let's see if this Wake defense can get off the field one more time.
Dungey hit as he throws, and offline for Custis, and covered by Isang Bassi. 4 plays and a punt now for the Orange.
Last third down and long, they went right after Big 17, and why wouldn't you? Great receiver, big target. Bassi had that arm locked up. Both of those third down incompletions could have drawn a flag. And the first one definitely should have, and you could argue say that one should have, but dodging a little bit of a bullet, the hometown team.
Greg Dortch, 3rd in the ACC, 8th nationally at 13.5 yards in return on punts. And Hofricker smashes this one. Dortch back to the 16, gonna let it bounce, and it will be touched up around the 15-yard line. So a 7-0 lead for the Deacons. 49 yards for Bowling Green in the MAC.
This is the Bowling Green Bowl. Both of them won MAC championships.
Yeah.
We actually had Bowling Green earlier this year at Georgia Tech.
Yep, sure did.
You remember that?
I do.
That was awesome.
Here is Hartman. The best rushing play for Wake today has been the quarterback. Twice Sam Hartman has gashed Syracuse, that time 20 yards.
Well, what did Rebecca Capel say off the top of the show? Dino Baber said it looked like they just took last year's quarterback and made him a freshman. Well, you get used to this when it was John Wolford running the show, and if it's there, you're going to take it all day.
Here's Colburn trying to sneak out into space. Breaks the 50. 15 yards for Colburn, so that's 35 in 2 snaps now for the Deeks.
You hear a rolling ball of butcher knives. It's kind of cliche now, you hear it a lot, but when I think of that, I think of 22. Just churning and making it happen.
Here's Hartman. Man opening, could not get it. To Colburn.
They would love to have this one back here. Hartman, he buys some time. You know, bailing out of the pocket early was an issue earlier. This time he had no choice, but he's got to reset. He's got to focus and hit his open man. Syracuse got to stop letting guys run free.
Oh, Colburn, that time. That ball, that just got pushed into the wall, and the wall got pushed back in on Matt Colburn. Loss of 3.
Got to be sound. Those big bodies inside. The strength of this defense. Those 4 big guys up front. Not only against the pass, but the run.
Stop and go, Washington. Couldn't come down with it. Trill Williams, the freshman from Yonkers, New York, had stopped.
Well, Hartman, you need to just calm down a little bit. Hartman can throw the football and make these throws, and now, I mean, the missed opportunities now. Yeah, he hit Dortch running free. Syracuse, though,
look at this.
It's going to be a long day if they can't put some bodies on.
Maggio hangs it high for Riley. He'll let it hit. Oh, and it checks up nicely for Wake Forest. Inside the 5. Chuck Wade and Isang Bassi down at around the 4. 47-yard punt from Maggio. We've played about 6 minutes of this first period, and Wake Forest has a 7-0 lead. Dino Baber's team's just got to kind of calm down a little bit offensively, don't they, James?
Well, offensively, they could use a couple breaks on those third downs. They just can't get themselves in third down and long situations. And not the same start that Eric Dungey had last week against NC State. He was perfect early on in that game. 0 for 4 to start here today.
That's Dante Strickland, the senior from Dayton, New Jersey. Just a couple of yards there on first down. Orange are here after putting 51 on NC State last week. Wake Forest put 56 on the board at Louisville. Custis couldn't pull it in with Bassi defending. Jamal Custis comes in, 35 catches, averaging 5.4 a game, James, and 84 yards a game.
Now they can't get it to him. Look at the big man. They're shutting it down, and Bassi breaking on the football. But when you're as big as Custis, 6'5", 215, use that body. Wall him off. Go up there and and get hungry and rip that ball down. Don't wait on it to come to you. Now you've got another 3rd and long standing on your own goal line. This is the same team that scored that 51 against NC State last week.
Dungey wants to keep it and got away from the first guy, and that was both wide, and then ran into another stack of black shirts back at the original line at the 4. Suleiman Kamara was finally the guy that got him on the ground.
Both Rod hanging on forever, and he finally just slipped out, but it was enough time for his guys to get off their blocks and come help out. The key to the game, Wake Forest off the top. What did I say? James, stop this crazy thing. Well, they have done just that. They're doing their job defensively. And while they're up 7-0, it could be a little bit more. Hartman needs to come back out and hit some of these targets if they're going to continue to run free.
Halfricker into the wind. Dortch plays it at the 46. Here's Greg Dortch. 25, 20, 17-yard line. Best word I can give you is electric, James. 29-yard return of a 42-yard punt.
And I feel sorry for all those guys patting him on the back. They're all getting electrocuted. Number 3, man, he's happy to be back out there and contributing any which way he can. And his guys are fighting for him.
Another plus field start for Wake Forest. They have held Syracuse in 3 possessions, twice to 3 and out, and now the offense gets another short field with Carney and early movement. And that's the veteran left tackle, Benzinger, making his 23rd career start today with the early move.
First down.
Can't have it. Can't have it. Left side of the screen, left tackle, especially from a veteran. There he is right there. Left tackle, he's anxious and he's early, and he actually goes off the little flinch by the defensive tackle, Slayton. But still, everything is on your side momentum-wise. Little 5-yard penalties. They'll chip away at them.
Carney. And not a lot there.
And West, to be, I wouldn't have been surprised prior to that false start. It had the feeling that Warren Ruggiero would have tried to strike at the end zone. You know, it's not quite a sudden change, but it's, back out there, this defense, let's try it. Instead, they run it. Now it's 2nd and long.
Hartland looking for room, in trouble. Flag for a face mask. As Alton Robinson got a hand up around the face mask.
Face mask. Defense, number 94. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
Well, Syracuse has done the little things this season. That's how they've been successful. And, and here, it's not like you mean to reach out and grab a face mask. Everybody knows it costs, but just trying to grab anything. And one of those little things is they haven't been penalized very much. The penalties, the special teams. This isn't the Dino Baber Syracuse football that's got them ranked right now, that's got them feeling pretty good about themselves.
Carney tried to slide through to the right, and Syracuse shut it down. Ryan Guthrie cleaned it up on the tackle. So it'll be 2nd and goal. Another red zone chance for Wake Forest. We've got a touchdown on their 39th possession. They came in 5th in conference play in red zone efficiency, James. Almost 87%. Hartman. Backside catch. That's Freudenthal, the tight end. Knocked out inside the 5 at the 4 by Guthrie. And of course, here is Wake Forest on their 2nd trip into the CPI security red zone.
Syracuse wasn't set.
Hartman wants to throw and shoots it to the end zone. Sage Surratt, the intended receiver. I thought Sam Hartman was going to throw it out of the back of the end zone. He actually tried to do something productive against the coverage of Christopher Frederick.
Well, and he gave his team a chance. Surratt was moving for him, seeing his quarterback scramble. Syracuse, I'm surprised Syracuse even got that pressure. They're standing around, weren't ready for the snap. Now with the guy on him, he puts it where Surratt's the only one who can catch it. And unfortunately for Wake, he couldn't pull it in.
Here's Skiba, the young freshman from Clover, South Carolina. This will be 22 yards. On the year, he's 10 of 13. He's 7th in the ACC in kick scoring. And And the field goal is good. Shaky start. Both of them coming off sprints last week, scoring 50 or more. And a year ago, well, they just took the top right off the Carrier Dome, didn't they?
And we thought it was going to be another track meet. We were way off.
Boy, did we sell you short early. First quarter action in Winston-Salem, and it's 10-0 here in favor of the Deacs. Last year, 107 points, 1,300 yards of offense. There's gritty, gutty John Walford. James, easily one of our favorites.
Without a doubt. You know, and right after that, though, and a guy that we didn't see in that matchup last year in the Carrier Dome is Eric Dungey.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've enjoyed watching him fight. I mean, what a tough guy. And actually, to the point to where when the quarterback battle was opened up before that NC State game, at the week of, I really hurt for the guy because he's played his guts out for Syracuse, and you get it. I mean, if your quarterback needs to be woken up, then you wake him up, and that's just what Dino Babers did, and it worked out for him. Tommy DeVito, though, the redshirt freshman who won that North Carolina game for him, he's got a bright future when Dungey's gone.
Kick by Ford. Riley will not have a return. Orange will play from their 25, and Dungey now, he's 0 for his first 5 here. Syracuse is 14 yards of offense in the first nearly 9 minutes of the ball game. Only 1 first down in 3 possessions for the Orange, who now put Mo Neal in the backfield of Dungey, and you can see the difference in field position to originate drives here too. Wake's had 2+ field starts, and here is Neal slipping to the right side. And he'll pick up 9, almost 10 before Bassey banged him into the bench.
Syracuse is an offense that they use the pass to set up the run. In the past, they haven't been on the same page. Receivers with Dungey, they haven't been clicking through the air, so they're using that run early now.
Another first down carry for Neal. He's back home, the only North Carolinian on the roster for the Orange. He's from Gastonia. Had 116 yards earlier this year for Dino Babers in the win against UConn.
A lot bigger Mo Neal. There's a lot Mo. Gained 20 pounds over the last year.
Looking for Riley. Broken up. Nasir Greer has been in a couple situations here early for the Deacons.
Boy, in coverage, we saw him earlier come up and take on a blocker and get off. Just a freshman. Just disrupts it enough. He's got that backhand on the shoulder pad. Just tough kid.
2 schools are hitless on 3rd down today.
That's a big one here for Syracuse. They need to give that defense a little bit of a breather, get something good going. Not necessarily so much ball left to be played. It's not like Dire Straits have got to go score, but they need to convert.
Dungey. Flag down. Dungey escapes. Now wants to launch. Custis there. Makes the catch. Inside the 30 of Wake Forest goes Jamal Custis, but will it stand? Amari Henderson was the defender. It's a 36-yard pass play, but usually these markers are for holding. Dwayne Heights, the referee today, is assigned by the ACC.
There is no foul on the play. Result of the play, first down.
Wow. I mean, Wake fans. What you see the body on the ground. And
yeah. So the play to Custis stands. First catch for Jamal Custis. First completion for Eric Dungey. And here's Dungey trying to keep it near side. We'll get a couple out of that. Manny Walker, the redshirt sophomore. So Syracuse has their first real threat of the ball game. Now Dungey resetting Ravion Pierce with Custis here at the near side, and then hands to Mo Neal breaking free. First and goal coming up for the Orange. Shoe top tackle by Williams. Saved the touchdown.
Go right up the gut, and this is after checking over with Mike Lynch, the offensive coordinator, at the line. Mo Neal coming right at you. Just knifing through that defense.
Neal again, stretching and scoring. 8-yard run by Neal, and the Orange on the board with 4:17 to play in the period.
Well, Neal had just 5 carries for 17 yards against NC State. He's making his presence felt here. Another look at it. He gets that ball across the goal line. A good job of guys getting up on that next level on those backers.
7-play drive for the Orange. And Syracuse got to feel better about itself, James. Pretty sluggish start in the first 3 possessions, but we're going to have a review of Neal's score.
Well, and you know, Wes, it's just as it's so tough for these teams to go play in the Carrier Dome. You know, something's got to be said if that's your home and that's where you rally and play so well, and that's basically where you practice in that practice facility. Now it's a little bit of a different atmosphere here too. It takes a little while to get lathered up and get going. And you got to think too where the success has been. It hasn't just been Mo Neal, but it's been Eric Dungey carrying that football. And talk about flipping the script from last year as far as teams go. It might be flipping the script on how you go about winning football games for Syracuse to be successful here today. I mean, you keep coming back to that run, back-to-back plays right up the gut, running the football.
Ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
So it is a touchdown for Neal. 3rd rushing score of the year.
You see Luke Masterson there unblocked too. It's it's tough to do. You're a safety one week, and on a Wednesday, you've never played linebacker before. You're told that you're going to start playing linebacker.
Point after by Schmidt is good. That makes it 10-7. Just ahead of 4 minutes to go here in this first period. And Neal, of course, caps the drive with the 8-yard run, and easily Syracuse's best offensive possession so far of the 4. And James, probably a little more confidence for Dino Baber's team after kind of a sluggish start. And give Wake Forest credit too. The Deacons had defended at least early to force some missed throws and that kind of deal.
Well, and you got to credit too. You talk about a guy like Luke Masterson being thrown into the mix of being a linebacker and not expecting it. Lyle Hemphill, the new defensive coordinator. Hey, you're defensive coordinator now. Go run the show and make it happen.
Yep.
It's one thing is for sure. His guys defensively, they're playing hard. I mean, they're playing hard against a pretty good offense here today. They got gas there at the end of that one. Both these teams have got 4 quarters of fighting.
Hoffrichter kicks it over the head of Dortch. Wake will scrimmage from its 25, Rebecca.
Well, guys, you talked about Mo Neal gaining some weight this year. Sam Hartman's trying to do the same thing. He told me he eats at least 5 meals a day, lots of snacks. He's gained 15 pounds since arriving on campus, but he wants to gain a whole lot more. He said it's a challenge. He really does get sick of eating all the time. He called it an ongoing issue that I'm sure most of America is pretty jealous of.
He told you he wanted to gain 60 pounds, didn't he?
He did, 60, but then he said, no, maybe not that, but a whole lot.
Yeah, 60 would put him around 250.
Maybe he said 16.
Colburn in the backfield. Hartman will keep it and get a couple.
So this morning, Wes went and got Krispy Kreme for the crew and 2 boxes for Sam Hartman, right? To go deliver him for his 6th meal.
Yeah. I'm sure Sam has been over to the donut factory here on Stratford Road in Winston-Salem. In trouble now and taken down. Kenneth Ruff. Interesting when we When we visited with the Syracuse coaches this week, Brian Ward, the defensive coordinator, talked about the backups in the defensive line too, James.
Well, you got to have them. And look at Ruff. My goodness, just bulldogging his way. Dillard High School down in the 9.54. Big sack.
Trying to go in front of the Deacon bench to Bachman, and Andre Cisco broke it up. And Wake Forest will have to punt it away. So 3 and out go the Deacons with 3:26 to play. And Dave Clausen's teams kind of hit the skids. 2 punts in their last 3 possessions. And here's Maggio to punt it to Sean Riley, who only has 8 punt returns for an average of just under 18 yards.
The official over the ball now is a late substitution for Wake. You know, Syracuse, good match.
Pretty good punt. Maggio. Here's Riley. Played the wind nicely at the 35. Tried to reroute. Now heads up the field. And gets to midfield. Well, 45-yard punt, 15-yard return. The Orange defense gets the 3 and out, James, of Wake Forest. And, you know, a lot of advertisement coming into the ballgame about how good they are, especially against the run and the pass rushing of Coleman and Robinson on the edges defensively for Syracuse.
Well, they've had a little bit of a struggle against the run. The loss to Pitt, they had a tough time with it. Really in the Clemson game, in a game where this defense held Clemson, the Syracuse defense, to 27 points. It was the run at the end of the day that they really couldn't handle.
Riley in space. Gets 4 to the 46. First catch of the day for Sean Riley, who comes in with 43 of them on the year. Chuck Wade, the converted wide receiver, the tackle. Neal. Couple more there, James. 3rd down coming up.
Well, Scooting, good vision, finding it, bouncing outside, and the jump and the cut, the ability to put those feet on the turf and go right now. Nice looking runner.
Demetrius Kemp, the stop there, by the way. He's back in the ball game after being shaken up earlier.
Good. They can't afford to lose Kemp.
Dungey, Custis couldn't hang on. Bassey right there. Or if you're Dino Babers here, James, you're down 3. What are you doing?
Well, first of all, I'm telling Custis, hey, you're a basketball player. Go up and grab that rebound. That's too many times that he's just let the ball just kind of come to him and go through his hands and let these smaller defensive backs go and fight him for it. I mean, he's a basketball player from day 1. And now he'll go over to his gunner spot as his team looks to punt it away. And Dino Babers shows punt right now, but Wake's in the punt safe because this is definitely fake territory if you got it.
Dortch stands at the 10. And just a little step and kick, and look at Dortch off the bounce. Across the 20, out to the 23. Greg Dortch wants it. Aaron Belinsky's the long snapper. He made the tackle.
Boy, it's not always easy, right? Football takes some funny hops, but you know, when you got the confidence and the playmaking ability of Greg Dortch, sometimes you got to just let guys do their thing and make things happen. He's got the numbers to show it, and it helps his offense out a little bit better field position to start here this drive now.
Wake Forest from its 24. Hartland lost it, ball loose, and it's picked up. McKinley Williams to the 10. Oh, a big turnover here for Syracuse to get.
Well, he's got it in the belly and pulls it out cleanly, and he just goes to cock it and slips out of the back of his hand. The ball wasn't going forward. It's definitely going to be ruled a fumble. He's throwing it all the way, and he just loses the grip as he pulls it out of the belly of the back. And how's this for field position? It's been Wake that has been on top of that battle so much today, but now giving it to Syracuse right on the doorstep, and a chance for the Orange to take their first lead of the game.
1st and goal, Wake Forest 10-yard line. Mo Neal cranks it up. He'll get 6. Second and goal at the 4, tripped up by Cameron Glenn.
I'd give it back to 21. They haven't shown that they can stop that run. Until they show me they can stop it, keep on feeding it.
Here's Neal banging away to the 2, maybe toward the 1. Coming down the final stretches of a long first quarter. Luke Masterson knocked him down.
Well, this has got to be fun for this offensive line. It's the best offensive line that Syracuse has had since Dino Babers has been in town. And when you're used to throwing it around the yard a lot, hey, that's good football. You're winning football games. But this is what they really are hungry for.
Inside. And stopped by Ryan Smenda. Was Neal.
Out a way there to stiffen defensively. Guys getting under the pads of that offensive line. Penetration.
Howard, by the way, who's
4th down.
9th carry. Dungey to Howard, and Howard tried to reach across on 4th down, and then finally goes in with a little help from his friends. Smenda and Howard were jockeying, it looked like. And finally, the freshman from Columbia, Mississippi, just moved the stack enough for the touchdown. And Dave Clausen's really upset.
Give the ball to the freshman down low. Howard from Columbia, Mississippi. Same hometown as Sweetness, Walter Payton. You don't see that route a lot. Mississippi to Syracuse, New York. The big body down low, just like they like Carney on the other side. Here's the freshman behind that big offensive line. Rassy getting low.
He got knocked back. There's Glenn, number 2.
I mean, I don't know that at that point. It's ruled a touchdown is I guess really what we need to know. And I don't know if we'll be able to get a look right down the line to see that ball crossing. Does he cross there? Because if he didn't...
James, I have to believe that some of this is about progress being stopped, too, from the Wake Forest side of the argument.
Somebody call Steve Adazio.
Well, it looks like Smenda's got him. And then all of a sudden, the extra shove comes from Coda Martin, the right tackle, I believe. And I'm still not sure we've got anything that shows Howard in or out, at least from what we've seen so far.
Nice job there by Smenda to stay high. You got to tackle high on the goal line. You got to stay up high. Don't give him a chance to fall forward into the end zone. This really is our best look, but it's not a direct look.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And the verbiage there is it stands. It's not confirmed because you can't really confirm it. And they don't want to hear it here, but it was ruled a touchdown on the field.
Jarvion Howard's 4th touchdown run of the year. The fumble proves costly for Wake Forest.
Hey!
And the point is good. And the Orange go in front on the Howard touchdown.
Wake Forest 10, Syracuse 14.
There's your look right there. There you go. Good job. Good call. Touchdown. That ball's got to be across the plane. Good look at it, guys. Thank you. That'll settle that at least. But boy, it was quick. It's all it's got to go over is for a split second.
Boy conduct, number 72 defense. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty has been issued to Wake Forest, and Tyler Williams, the defensive lineman.
Well, and here come the little things, the sloppiness. You know, we talked about off the top in those keys, something that Wake Forest has done. They have gotten some stops there. You know, they push it to 4th down in a close one. But for Syracuse, it's continuing to take care of the football and turn it over. Turnover margin, Syracuse is +9. First in the ACC, 7th in the nation. And really, if you look at the speed that this offense goes, it's really impressive that a team can take such good care of the football. Well, they've won that turnover battle so far here today, going on top after the fumble recovery while it slipped out of the hands of Hartland. 15 yards now. I'd be alert for an onside kick here.
Orange in front for the first time.
You got a little sky kick, something. If you've got one in there, here's an opportunity. You're still going to have decent field position.
There's a line at Dortch through the end zone. So the Deacs with 52 seconds to play. James, this is already Wake's 7th possession of the first quarter. How about that?
48 total plays so far between these two teams. What, 190, I think the total was. 188. Wake Forest had 89, and Cuse had 99 in that game last year that finished 64-43.
Hartman pumps, in trouble, he'll be sacked. Thrown to the ground. Evan Foster, the safety, was back there. 4th sack by the Orange.
And there's Ruff again, the 300-pound junior, not credited with the sack, but getting the pressure. Strong guy, using those powerful legs to push back there against guys like Nathan Gillum, who's down now. Talk about the improvement of the offensive line for Dino Babers. Same goes for Dave Clausen. This is a much different offensive line than we saw. Here's a look at the big man.
They're working against Robinson here.
Knoxville Farragut. That's where Bill Bates went to high school.
Yep. So did the voice of the Deacs, Stan Cotton.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He and Bill Bates were high school teammates at Farragut.
Man, I didn't know that. That was one of our rivals in high school. The Sevier County High School Smoky Bears. That's where Dolly Parton went to school.
Did y'all lay the wood to Farragut?
No.
No? Didn't go well, huh?
No, we weren't great. Our fight song was Jolene. That wasn't really Jolene, but Dolly did go there. But they had good baseball as well. Wouldn't that be awful?
If your fight song was Jolene.
Would you transfer?
Yes, I would. Here's Washington, the catch. Out near the 26.
But if you think about it, that's a real tough song.
Final play of the first, if Wake wants it to be. I think that's the 50th play of the first period. How about that? Hartman in trouble again, surrounded. Escapes the pocket, turns it up the field. He's got the first down and more. Will slide down at the 43. That will end the first period. 56-minute first quarter. 17-yard run by Hartman. We've got 24 combined points. James Bates, Rebecca Capel, West Durham. We welcome you back to BB&T Field in Winston-Salem. Long first period, 24 total points, and Wake Forest starts quarter number 2 with the ball at its 43 after Sam Hartman converted a long play, and now here's Colburn on the option. And about 4 yards, almost 5 for Matt Colburn before Kylan Whitner made the tackle. Here's some numbers changed from the opening 15 minutes.
Well, and this number right here, the 4 sacks by Syracuse. The Wake Forest coaches told us when Hartman gets hit in the game, he changes a little bit, and they're getting to him. Oh, they hit him again.
Well, Washington didn't even look. He was downfield blocking on Christopher Frederick, the corner.
Brandon Berry hit him high. He's got to be careful with that shot. Not necessarily a late shot, but going up high. But Hartman, he fumbled. So they're in his mind a little bit. There's a nice throw.
Washington ruled out of bounds. So it'll be 4th down.
Scotty Washington finally healthy. He's got to put those toes down. Good job to stretch out. That right toe looked like it was on its way, but Nicely thrown football and a nice grab, but got to put that toe down. So Syracuse dodging a little bit of a bullet there and getting off the field defensively.
Maggio to punt. Sean Riley at the 10 for the Orange. Wobbly kick. Wake into the win here in quarter 2, and it'll be down in the neighborhood of the 20. Just a 33-yard punt. So at the 20 will go the Orange. And, well, we had one big play for each school. The big play for Wake, unfortunately, is the fumble by Hartman. It gave Syracuse, after it was returned to the 10, and then Mo Neal the touchdown.
Well, one turnover in the entire game. The win over number 22 at the time, NC State, McCarrier Dome last weekend. The Syracuse defense got it, and that was a big difference of the game. Will that turnover that turned the tide and gave them the lead, gave them that easy touchdown, will that be the tide turner of this one?
Dungey a keeper. And Sternad, the Mike linebacker, redshirt junior in this Deacon program. Now Dante Strickland in the backfield with Dungey on 2nd and 6. Dungey wants to throw down the field and looking for Devin Butler. And Isang Bassi has already made a handful of plays in the ball game.
Take a look at it. There they are, stacked. And a good job by Bassi. Knows he's beat. He put that head down and get back in there. And a good job, too, by Bassi at the very end to whip that head around. I wasn't sure that he did. Playing that football. And a lot of times you'll get a no flag there. I think that's a good no flag. Bringing up a 3rd down and long again.
Dungey. Up the field. 1st down. Flipped over at the 35, out to the 37, 14-yard run for Eric Dungey. Dante Strickland kind of helping him out once he left the pocket.
Well, cool and calm, and again, those rush lanes are so important. You got to keep them in that funnel. Dungey can hurt you just as Hartland's hurt the Cuse defense at times.
Strickland runs right into Sternad there, James. 4 yards.
The Lightning first, and then the Thunder. The Thunder and Lightning, Dante Strickland and Mo Neal.
Quick throw, intended and caught. That's Ravion Pierce, the tight end. He'll be short of the 1st down. Missed 3 games last month with an injury. Back in the lineup now for the Orange is Pierce. There goes Strickland. He'll have the 1st down. Got to the 49 before Luke Masterson pushed him back. The transition that Masterson has made here, James, is really remarkable when you think about what he was doing 3 weeks ago.
Well, it was just playing safety, and he had never played linebacker his entire career. He played some offense and played safety as well. So now he's a starter.
Here's Butler. And the Orange, for the first time, seems to have a little rhythm to the offense here. First catch for Devin Butler.
Well, if you're a Syracuse fan, this got to feel a little bit more like it. I mean, this is the tempo and the rhythm that you get used to. A little bit more run mixed in, and it took finally getting that run game going to finally loosen it up outside.
Dungey follows a block. Nice play in space, and that was Cameron Glenn. And let's go downstairs to Rebecca.
Guys, talk about Luke Masterson. He didn't hesitate when coaches asked him to play linebacker. He has spent his entire life adjusting on the fly because he's the oldest of 8. He said all of his siblings play sports, so the competitive nature of his family has helped him adapt to challenge and change easily.
Well, and a commitment to watching tape, too. Yeah. Wake Forest hard enough, and then you add in changing positions, and it can get rugged, and that time Strickland gets the 1st down ahead of the tackle by Sternad.
Well, we've talked about it ad nauseum, the injuries there in the middle of this defense, and showing you right there. You got a team 3rd down and 4, and you just let them run right up the gut for it. It can't happen.
Dungey wants to throw, and he'll be sacked. Bothroyd got in the backfield and dropped him. Freshman from Connecticut, they're excited about him.
They are. They think that, just young pup is going to grow into a 3 technique.
Look at his size.
Well, and one thing that we haven't mentioned, they're out without Boogie Basham.
Here is Strickland, and he'll be taken down a yard behind the line, and that was Isang Bassi again. Yeah, Basham left the ball game in Louisville after he cleaned up the fumble for the touchdown. Was gone a couple series later, never came back, and not available today. 3rd and long for the Orange. Dungey escapes. Needs a couple more, and he's going to be close. Man, talk about making it happen. He's going to be just shy of the first down, but here comes big Chris Elmore into the package for Dino Babers.
Wow. I mean, what a heartbreaker. You've got him 3rd down and 14, and you let the quarterback slip out. Cameron Glenn, he fell for the little inside shake.
Their first timeout of the half. And
there's the scrap that just keeps coming on. Wow, so a big 4th down and 1 doesn't hurt you, but you got to stay outside. Stay outside. All of your buddies are inside. Outside, Eric Dungey gets, and it almost gets the first down. Gets it to a 4th down and 1 now. So a little bit more drama here as we welcome you back with 9:41 left in the first half.
13th play of the drive out of the Wake Forest timeout now. Here's that 4th and short. Strickland in the backfield. Dungey, the keeper, got hit and stretched out, and I don't know. Masterson, the learning linebacker here, makes the big lick.
Let's see, we find him as that Masterson right there. Watch him stay at home. After this read, he's the only guy that's going to be left. And goes down low and fights. It's like we talked about earlier, tackling up high on the goal line. You tackle him low, he's going to have a chance to stretch. A little bit of help coming over there late, but what's it going to be? It was Calhoun.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Not even a link, James. Wow. Less than a link of the chain.
Big number 12. The Buck linebacker. All the injuries there at the linebacker spot. We've talked about him. Rebecca was telling you that he was just ready to go. Let's go watch some tape. Found out he was playing linebacker on a Wednesday before Florida State and actually went out there and had a pretty good game. And a little bit more complex for him last week. Struggled a little bit in the win over Louisville. But a big-time play and a big-time stop on 4th down for him there.
Hartland, and here's Dortch. To the 37, 36. Ryan Guthrie, the tackle. Clock starts to move inside 9.5 to go. First half. We've had plenty of action, just not that much scoring from maybe what we expected, James.
It's picked up a little bit here.
Flag thrown, procedure, I believe, on the Deacons.
False start. Offense. All 11 players were not set prior to the ball being snapped. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Looked like they were orbiting Dortch there, right?
Can't have it. You know, it's a little 5-yard. I mean, you're going. You got them on their heels. You got it's 2nd down and 2. Defensive coordinator. I don't want any part of calling the defense against a 2nd down and 2. There are a lot of things they can do to me. Now it's a 2nd down and 7. You know, it's the momentum. And twice it's been on this offensive line here, or this offense.
Hartland tried to cut it loose for Dortch. A lot of contact with Antoine Cordy, no flag.
Well, they're letting them bang back there in the secondary, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
You know, and hey, as long as they're going to be consistent.
That's it.
Just be consistent.
Cordy, a veteran guy now. Redshirt senior from Homestead. Long throw on the backside there, looking for Surratt. No flag there. Scoop Bradshaw from Tampa Plant in coverage. There's Scoop.
And there you see the hand on the jersey, just yanking it down. Got to wear those dark colored gloves when you got going up against guys with the dark jersey, so it blends in a little bit. In college football, if they're not going to call it, you're going to keep it up. Be a little bit more physical there in the secondary.
Third 3 and out for Wake Forest in 8 possessions in this first half. No return off the punt of Maggio, 40 yards. What 4 other quarterbacks make up the rest of the Orange's top 5 in that category? James?
4.
Can you name the other 4 in the top 5?
Name Chunky Soup.
No.
That's a hint. I didn't say it. It's a hint.
That'd be Donovan McNabb.
Oh, Wes.
First down give, and not a lot for Strickland. I'm always fascinated, by the way. There is a guy who quarterbacked at Syracuse who was not nearly as widely known, but is yet in all these offensive records. I did notice that from some of the research. Dungey wanted to throw it, and we'll pick up a couple more to the 34. Cam Glenn, the stop for the Deacons.
They've got Cam Glenn with a close eye on Dungey. That time he drops him, and that time the rush lanes. And things were a little bit tighter, not as much room for him to go scampering free. This time, though, can they get off the field? Should be a big stop right here for this defense. See if that offense can get something going again.
Dungey to throw, third. Under duress. Trying to escape. Will not get away from Manny Walker. Well, it looked like Zeke Rodney was going to be the first guy to get him, and he was able to slip that one.
Well, look at big Zeke Rodney get through there. 93 is over 300 pounds. And looking pretty swift, and a nice job to collapse Manny Walker to come and take the right angle, go and drop him for a short gain.
Fourth 3 and out of the opening half for Syracuse.
Watch these gunners here. Custis down at the bottom of the screen. One of the best around.
Dortch off the 18. Cannot slip. A marker down at the 21. 50-yard punt. So Wake Forest, after Shaheem Cullen made the tackle. And we will check the flag here on the penalty.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 37, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
All right, we're going to back.
He's been changed a little bit, and Force Axe will do that to you. And the pressure that they provided, let's see if they can do that here.
That's Dortch in motion. Carney, the handoff. And not much there. In fact, it'll be a loss of about 3, maybe 4 for the Orange. They had Kendall Coleman back there.
Watch right here. You're going to see 95. Well, I beg your pardon. That's a 55. I thought it was a 95. That was Coleman. But the strength to hold off with that left hand and keep that right shoulder free. It's impressive.
Ryan Guthrie, another tackle there. And all of a sudden, third and about medium for Wake Forest. Hartman, the throw, and Dortch, the catch. First and 10 for the Deacons. That was Cordy in coverage.
Big-time throw. Big-time throw all the way out there to find Dortch. And the pressure's coming. Syracuse brought the blitz. They picked it up enough for Hartman to stand in there and let go of it.
Hartman trying to back up, and Guthrie's got him. Coleman kind of forced the angle, it looked like, James, for Guthrie's path.
Well, and are you going to bail, or you can't backpedal your way out of this one? I mean, if you need to take a couple steps to backpedal to buy a little bit of space, but you can't expect to backpedal for 5 yards and anything good to happen. That's a freshman mistake. And now we get a fresh set of downs, and now it's second down and 21. 5 sacks now for the Orange.
delays his. Oh, look at the shoulder dropped on Cordy. Carney kind of stutter-stepped through the line a little bit. He soft-sold it, and then all of a sudden hit the gear.
Here, watch Whitner. Whitner here is going to come up and just catch. You read a play, you've got to react and go put a helmet in there. You can't just catch these linemen.
Hartman misses Dortch.
And he had him.
Yep, Guthrie was there in coverage. That was a mismatch in the secondary for Wake Forest to take advantage of, and they couldn't do it.
Just the consistency, the lack of consistency. Here you got some feel-good going. You make an incredible throw to convert on third down, and then you've got an easier throw. That's the hard throw was the out. The easy throw is right down the middle for a quarterback, just rushing it and throwing it behind him. And here comes the punting unit.
Maggio toward Riley. It'll hit. And Chuck Wade, pretty underrated. When you start thinking about Syracuse quarterbacks, that's not the first name most come up with. Really, really productive. Dungey going to take the deep shot here. Trying to come back is Johnson.
There you go.
Or Taj Harris. It's Harris, the intended receiver, 80. And a flag thrown against Amari Henderson.
And I was going to say, if they don't throw one here, they're not throwing them at all today, because it's a chance to come back and make this play.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 4. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
And on Henderson's behalf, he knows he's beat, and he sees the eyes open up of the receiver, and he feels like, hey, that ball's here. I'm just stripping it away. He doesn't realize that it's thrown short. Dungey trying to give his receiver a chance to come back and get it. So that's a good call. And a first down across midfield now. Chris
Elmore's come in with Ravion Pierce, almost a too-tight set. Dungey flushed here to the near side and will throw it away. And then into the bench area, Luke Masterson hit Dungey, and flag comes out from that. Eric pops up, and you can't ever question number 2's toughness now.
No. Well, and we've been there when he's taking
personal
a couple
foul.
of shots.
Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 12. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, so back-to-back 15-yarders here against Wake Forest.
Here's the end of it. It's ball's out, and just fortunately for Wake Forest, with all the linebackers they're missing, it wasn't a helmet shot. So no worries there, but the worries now are trying to keep it at 4, and best case scenario, get a stop and get your offense back out there and try to chip into it.
This is Howard, who punched in the touchdown to put the Orange in front. Somebody lost a shoe. Looks like it's Suleiman Kamara. Nope. It is Mike Allen, redshirt freshman. Howard again. Well, got pulled down the backfield that time, and that was Cameron Glenn firing through. Glenn has been very active, James, but it's almost like he's in that big box that Lyle Hempel's got going defensively for Wake Forest.
Just counting on the senior safety to stay in there and help make some plays, very active, and go run them down.
Under 4 to go in this first half. Pretty significant play here on 3rd and 6.
Without a doubt, trying to make it to the 17-yard line now. Know where they're going to break those routes off.
And flag and a movement. I think that is on the Orange. Early start here.
Ball start. Offense. Number 68. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Well, the redshirt sophomore at the pivot is Aaron Service from Green Bay, making his 21st straight start today. He leads the league in hair. That is a good-looking flow. But Service is a guy who, James, he's a young guy, but he's played a ton of ball. You don't see him make many mistakes.
His headshot, I think he leads the league in beard, too. He's got a nice beard to go with it. So now 3rd down and 11 after that.
They shoot it inside. Here's Riley. Made the first down miss. And it'll be close. Real close. Needed to get to the 17. Sternad shoved him out of bounds.
It shouldn't have been that close. Cameron Glenn is a senior safety. We've got all these guys that are filling in these spots, and here they'll charge over the ball. They're going to take a look at it.
For measurement.
You know, it was like the Dungey run that brought up that 4th down and one that ultimately had Luke Masterson with the stuff. There you see getting back up off the ground was Cameron Glenn again. That's the outside. That's the last line of containment before they break to get outside to that sideline. Force it back inside. Don't go for the big layout shot. Break down. Give him no choice but to cut it back inside to your help. And they're well short of that 1st down. Instead, it's really interesting.
4th down.
4th and 1.
4th down. Who's got a ball for me?
Boy, if we had lasers instead of those chains, we'd know by now we'd be running that 4th and 1. Someday they'll listen. Just shoot that across there. But Cameron Glenn, he's got it. You know, you talk about guys needing to step. Hey, catch that ball for your quarterback. He needs you. They need you. They need him. He's the leader on this team, and that's not what a senior safety. You know, his safety, last line of defense.
Right.
That's you. That's what you specialize in is breaking down and keeping it in front of you. Well, here it's been keep it inside of you, but it's the same thing. It was Masterson. There he is right here, last 4th and 1 with the big stop. Let's see if this defense can get another stuff on 4th and short.
Dungey around the edge will get it. I believe he does, yes.
Nice job by the right side of that line. There's Coda Martin, former Aggie, son-in-law.
Dino Babers.
Living down in the basement, right?
His dad's on the staff. Here is Howard. To about the 14, couple of yards there. Cameron Glenn had his nose in it again.
Here he is this time, the safety. They're coming up and play in the hole.
That time they get to the perimeter pretty quick. And another catch for Jamal Custis, just his 2nd though. Comes in averaging almost 5.5 grabs a game, which is top 5 in the ACC. 3rd and short again for the Orange. Howard, 1st and goal coming up. He got inside the 6 there.
Yeah, it will be a 1st down. They like Howard down near the goal line. We saw him with the touchdown earlier on 4th down.
Just a different size guy, James, isn't he? 210 pounds.
Strickland, who we've seen run the ball, is 204. And O'Neal's 191. So get a little bit of that power down low.
Now they go back to this package that features Ravion Pierce, and now Nathaniel Hackett has come in as the 2nd tight end, if you will, for the Orange. Quick throw on the perimeter, and that's Pierce. And it's going to be ruled a catch with Glenn making the stop at the 3.
Nice job there by Glenn to recognize after the play fake. And again, you know, you've struggled with the run, and that's going to hold you. You're going to get an extra beat. You got to respect that run. They've gashed us so many times.
2nd time out of the half for Dave Clausen and Wake Forest. 70 seconds to go in the frame.
Back-to-back plays here now as they just run and quickly there to drop them.
Well, we started this day with Cade Carney dropping a shoulder on Wake's 2nd possession and into the end zone. And then all of a sudden, Syracuse came bouncing back. Trailing 10-0, they got on the board with Mo Neal's 8-yard run, then the fumble by Hartland, scooped up. And then 4 plays later, Jarvion Howard got the ball across the white stripe. And Dino Babers' team has been in front since. We've gone back and forth. We've had big plays both ways. We've had some penalties, unforced and untimely. for both schools as well.
Just the one turnover still, but the 7 points, the difference here. Scored off that turnover.
Dungey on a little play fake to big Chris Elmore. Now rolls here to the right. Eric took the shot and down about the 1.
Number 2, Eric Dungey.
Cameron Glenn again lowered the boom on Dungey. And Dave Clausen has called his last timeout with 59 seconds
Well, it's
left.
a nice job here by Cameron Glenn because he's in coverage. Now he's got to come off of it and go make a play, and he goes down low and drops Dungey, bringing up a 3rd down and short. Boy, anything that Dave Clausen's squad can do here to make a stop and keep it right here. You know, it's one thing that Dino Babers has said many times. He loves to have them chase us. We love it when they're chasing us. You know, it was Wake that scored first. They got on the board first and had Syracuse down 10-0. But a chance now for Dino Babers and company to punch it in and go up 11 before halftime, and then it truly does become a chase.
What about this rushing touchdown number, James? It's already +8 from a year ago, and they got 3 weeks left to go after this year.
Your guy Howard. Howard, and on the other side, it's most definitely Carney when you get down there.
See what happens here. The Orange has plugged in Cameron Jordan as a... And this is Howard scoring again. Kleinberg was the guy who was in front of him, and boy, Howard did that on his own.
Boy, well, he didn't do it on his own. He did that whole entire left side of the line. They brought in Chris Elmore. Elmore absolutely annihilated that defensive side of the ball. I think the Aflac Duck could have rolled in on his chair. That was so easy. Man, that was impressive.
10 plays, 57 yards, 353. Schmidt's point after is good. Final minute we ride here in Winston in this first half, and the Orange lead is 11.
58 seconds remaining in the first half.
Oh, Howard makes a nice move on Isang Bassi, doesn't he? To stand for the 5th touchdown of the season for the freshman.
One guy unaccounted for, you know, and Bassi is a heck of a football player, the cornerback. But give me Howard and Bassi, you know, and it's which one you going to go, fastball or changeup? You going to go for the shake, or you going to the collision right there on the goal line? I'll take the big man over a cornerback, no matter how tough he is, any day. There's a nice little scoring drive, the 10 plays there. Capped off by 28. The Mississippian, the only one on the squad.
Well, 11-point deficit facing Wake Forest. Now remember, the Deacons won the toss and elected to receive, so Syracuse may have a chance to double down, but Wake is out of timeouts with 58 seconds left, and James, they're reeling a little bit since the Hartland fumble, to be honest. And now the 10th possession of the first half for the Deacons will originate from their 25.
With no timeouts left, you know, and you've got a freshman quarterback, you'd like to think that you can be aggressive here, but man, it's you're also counting on a whole lot to happen.
Don't want to make a mistake here, do you?
Well, absolutely not, and give him a cheap a freebie. Wake Forest knows about scoring those defensive touchdowns. They got to take care of the football.
Hartman in trouble. He'll be sacked. That's Robinson. 6 of them now in the first half for the Orange.
Going to come from left side. Big Alton Robinson. Oh, look at that little dip. Dipping that shoulder down. Looking like my guy Rob Burnett. He used to play for my dad, the Cleveland Browns, rushing that passer, Syracuse.
Well, now see,
defensive lineman.
How about this, James? A little management of the clock. Dino Babers, he gets the sack on first down, punches the timeout. He's got 2 left.
Well, you if nothing else, you make him punt the football. A lot can happen. And as we take a look at Sam Hartman, you know, and shoot, he can run the ball. He can tuck it and go. And this is where he reminds you of John Wolford. And he's had some decent throws, but he's also missed some open shots. You know, too many misses on the open shots. There he's giving this guy a chance, but the one that stands out is a nice throw that he made on a 3rd down conversion earlier to Dortch.
Wake's going to run it, and this is Colburn. And he will break the 30. And Whitner, this weak linebacker, after about a 9-yard gain. And there's the second timeout punched by the Orange. Another 30-second timeout here for Dino Babers' club. Dino Babers, one of the things in the building block of his program with the Orange, they're just 1-9 on the road in the ACC in his tenure. And you see the half-dozen sacks already today. Ties their effort for most in a season, in a game this season. Go back to late September against UConn. But James, they've lost 8 straight road games in the ACC. You got to go back to October 22nd, 2016 to find their only ACC road win in his tenure, and that was at Boston College, 28-20.
Well, and look at the success that they've had, the Giants that they've beaten in the dome in that stretch.
Trying to turn a corner here today, though, clearly.
Can't force it now. Wake Forest got to take care of this football.
And they're going to try and run it with Colburn. And there's the third timeout by the Orange. So we'll wind down to 34 seconds left, and Wake Forest will punt. Well, and the Orange are getting after the Deacs a little bit to force them into another 3 and out. And look at the offensive line that's kind of going to work today for Dave Clausen. So they're not getting it against guys who hadn't played.
It's some experienced guys. I mean, this isn't the offensive line that we saw when we'd come around town 2 years ago. It was, it's interesting. Dave Clausen told us last year, he said, as freshmen, these guys were run by. Defensive linemen would just run by them. Then the next year they were run over, so they were in the right spots at least.
Yep.
And now finally we're able to kind of hold our own, but they haven't been able to at all today. Alton Robinson, Chris Slayton, Kendall Coleman, McKinley Williams. Kenneth Ruff has been fantastic, I think, the junior from Dillard. Very powerful there in that 3 technique spot.
Maggio will punt. Riley at the 25. Bassey tried to wrap him up. Masterson does get it. Wow, what a play by Luke Masterson. Fantastic in the punt cover after a 41-yard punt. Let's see how aggressive Eric Dungey and the Orange get here, knowing they'll get the ball to start the half.
How about Luke Masterson? He's been out there every snap on defense, trying to figure out how to play that linebacker spot. At the big 4th and 1 stop earlier. And here he's hustling down and dropping a jitterbug in Riley after the punt. And we'll come out in victory formation and take this one to the house.
Yep, sure will.
Slow start, but starting to put things together offensively and defensively here late in this first half.
And that will get us to the locker room. 11-point lead for the Orange. And Wake Forest will head off here at BB&T Field first. And Dave Clausen's team is 2-2 at home this year. 4-4 on the year, 1-3 here in the Atlantic. And Dino Babers' team has the advantage. And Rebecca going to get a chance to, I believe, visit with the head coach of the Orange, who's got this 11-point lead. The Sam Hartman fumble kind of sparked Syracuse. Both sides of the ball, and boy, half dozen sacks already in the first half, James. It's been an impressive performance after kind of a wobbly start for Coach Babers. And Rebecca's visit is brought to you by Honda Dealers of the Carolinas.
Well, Coach, your team's starting to establish its run game a little bit out there. What more would you like to see from your guys in the second half?
Well, we got to throw for a higher pass completion. Our defense is doing a good job. We've got to make a play in special teams. They're really keeping our special teams under wrap. We got some changes we need to do, and we'll get in there. We'll come back out and play a better second half.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that's Dino Babers with Rebecca Capel. Stay tuned. The Hardee's halftime report coming up. We'll check in on other action as well in this busy Week 10 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. The Orange, number 19, lead by 11 at the half.
First downs, and then we're taking first down sacks. and we're ending up with 3rd and longs. And right now, we're not protecting the passer real well. They're doing a good job of rushing us, and they're getting to us with a 4-man rush.
Best of luck in the second, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thanks to Dave Clausen and Rebecca for the visit. His team will kick it to the Orange to start the second half, and the Syracuse Sacks is our greatness made here, brought to you by Synovus, James.
And they keep making greatness again and again and again in that first half. 6 sacks here in the first half. Leading the way is Ryan Guthrie, the linebacker, 2 of them, and getting in the mind perhaps of the freshman Sam Hartman. That wasn't a sack, but the ball just comes out of his hand, and that set up really the momentum, the big tide turner there, and the go-ahead touchdown for the Syracuse Orange right there near his own goal line. But getting after the quarterback, and Wake hoping they can get another stop like they started this football game, get a nice 3-and-out defensively, and then see if they can get that offense into some sort of a groove and get that offensive line on the same page and blocking these rushers of Dino Babers.
James, they've also set an ACC mark today with sacks. 6 is the most they've ever had in an ACC contest. You got to go back to the 5 against NC State 5 years ago in their first year in the league, 2013, to find it. And by the way, they're only 3 off tying the school record, 4 from passing it. That ball is going to work its way out of bounds. How about that? I mean, at the very last moment, it skipped out of bounds in front of the pylon. So Ford's kick goes awry. And the Orange will scrimmage from their 35. As if they needed 10 more yards of advantage, right?
And really tough bounce. Looks like it's ideal almost to put him there in the corner. If Riley decides to pick it up, he lets it go wisely, and luckily takes a little Orange skip out of bounds. And so decent field position to start. That wasn't always the case in the first half for Syracuse.
Mo Neal with Dungey in the backfield. And he'll get the carry on first down, bangs into his own guy. I think that was Service, the center, who got out in front. Then Kemp, the linebacker, slows him down after 7 yards. Service kind of paving a little road out there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he and his hair. There's a read, and when Mo gets it, and Mo Neal's, he's gone. He may have gained 15 to 20 pounds, but he hasn't lost that burst. He's very sudden when he makes up his mind where he wants to get it.
Almost 60 yards on his 8th carry. Here's Riley with Custis out in front blocking, and look at Sean Riley go down the field, and then a flag thrown in as he broke the Deacon 45-yard line. Jamal Custis could be guilty here, perhaps.
Holding. Offense. Number 17. 10-yard penalty. Still, second down.
Well, they're going to get lucky here, too. Coming up missing the tackle is Chuck Wade. Safety's having a little bit of a tough time. When, they had him locked up. Saw the defensive back just trying to fight to get away. And it's one thing to help spring them, but you got to let go if you're going to try to hold a little bit.
Pretty clean first couple of snaps, though, in terms of what they're doing from a design perspective here, James. Dungey, a little bit of time. Look at this. Spins from the pocket. And went for the slide. And Masterson. And also it looked like Sternad. Rebecca.
Guys, Eric Dungey actually making an effort to avoid those big hits and tackles he's taken over the years. He said if there's one main thing he has changed this season, it's getting down and protecting his body rather than taking on those linemen.
Yeah, James and I saw him take a lick one day against Central Michigan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As a freshman? Wow.
A scary hit. He's had a couple of those in his career.
Trying to get to the perimeter. Cuts it back. Look at this. First down into Wake territory. To the 40 goes Dungey. He's saying Bassey finally got him to the ground after 14 yards.
Well, Willie Yarberry, who's moved out to the defensive end spot, he's got him. He's going to drop him right here, and he just gets enough space to get that corner scooting around and helping move. Gutting that one out. It looked like he was going to be dropped for a loss, but the senior, now defensive end, couldn't get to him.
Here's Riley. And he'll pick up about 8 on first down. 8 straight completions now for Eric Dungey. And if he starts to find the groove, could be trouble for the guys in the black hats.
Well, and you could tell going into the halftime locker room, Dino Babers, he said to Rebecca, he was upset that the completions weren't at a better percentage. Starting to kind of get in that rhythm right now with this offense and clicking like they want to.
Here's Custis on the throw. The throw from Dungey down to the 25. That'll be 7 and a first down. And the Orange on the march here with the opening possession of the second half. Long throw this time. Riley trying to split around Taj Harris, who was helping block against 2 defenders, but Amari Henderson was able to get through.
Nice job this time by the defenders. Look at them, keep them in that vice, stay up. Don't let them block you. Don't trade, Chuck Wade. Don't trade 1 for 1. You got to fight to get off that block. He does it right there. Excellent job of dropping him right away. Kind of stop this bleeding a little bit because it's been just chipping away, marching on down the field. Everything going the way of Syracuse.
Dungey's got his 280-pound sidecar with him now, James.
Big Chris Elmore.
Yes, sir. And there's Elmore throwing the block, and Dungey on 2nd and long gets about 7 again. Here we go.
Defensive lineman in high school. Watch him lead the way. Looking for someone. Finally, he gets someone. It just happens to be Cameron Glenn, the defensive back. Giving up about 100 pounds there. It's not fun.
It's like rolling through the streets with you. We got to have people with us like that to keep folks off of us. Here's Dungey again behind Elmore. 1st and goal for the Orange. Inside the 5 to the 4. Jaquez Williams, the redshirt sophomore, saved the touchdown.
Well, for Dino Babers, this is exactly how you wanted to come out of the halftime locker room. Look at the guys eating up front. I mean, everybody putting a hat on someone and just on their heels. This defense right now that's reeling on this first series of the second half. You got a defense just waiting to get back out there and go back to work.
Look at Big Elmore get the carry. Chris Elmore at 282 pounds goes banging in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Syracuse.
A way to pay off the big man doing all the blocking. He's listed as a tight end, but they've lined him up usually as a lead blocker there in the backfield. He's not going to be denied. You talk about service leading the league in hair. Elmore, he may be runner-up then.
5-yard run for Chris Elmore. And the Orange very, very efficient.
Gone, big fella. Leading the way one play, and the next play rumbling on into the paint. It's 28-10.
At Wake Forest, and so we have a very special guest, tight end Cam Serenay. Well, you know, the most productive tight end in ACC history, and you're a fan favorite here. What's it like to be back here for game day?
You know, it's awesome. I love this place. It's become a part of me over the past 5 years, and it's just great to be back with all my old teammates, my brothers, and a lot of guys still on the team, so it's been real special.
I see on your Twitter page that you're constantly talking about Wake Forest, giving congratulations to certain guys, and specifically a guy who's following in your footsteps, tight end Jack Freudenthal. What have you seen from him this season?
Oh, just growth, always growth. Jack's a hard worker. He's a guy who came in, prefer walk-in and worked himself into a scholarship. Couldn't be more proud of him. And, I'm really just excited for his growth and see him take over that position and continue to run with it.
We almost got taken out right here by the ball, but heads up on that play. Well, I have to have you put on your coach's cap because right now you guys are down. What's it going to take? You have faced Syracuse for many, many years. What's it going to take to get back in this one?
Defensively, just stop the run, limit the broken plays, don't let them get positive yards on broken plays, and offensively, trust the offense, be methodical, execute the game plan, hopefully get some big plays here soon.
You were such a leader for this squad last year. Tell me about this quarterback, Sam Hartman. I mean, what do you see from him?
Oh, a fighter, man. I love watching him. I was lucky to play with John Walford for the past, 4 years, so a lot of what I see in him is I saw in John, so I'm really excited to see him continue to grow and get better, and the guys around him. I think he's killing it, so I'm really excited for him.
Well, Cam, appreciate your time. I know all these fans want to say hi to you. They keep flagging you down, so we'll let you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it, yeah.
Guys.
All right, Cam Serenay, now part of the Carolina Panthers. And he got nothing there on the second down play. did Matt Colburn. So coming up on third down here and about 6 for the Deacs.
Big third down, trying to get something going.
Quick throw, Walford. Oh, reaching out and pulling it in is Dortch. What a grab by Dortch.
Wow, putting it where it needed to be. Hartman does an excellent job of leading him this time. He's got his main target on third down to move him.
19-yard throw. Here's Washington, another play. And trying to get down the far sideline and knocked out around the Orange 30 by Cisco.
Well, finally healthy and paying off. There's a look at Dortch on the conversion. How about the catch, the back tip of the football, the concentration and the strength. And they're quick and fired up with the play to Washington the next play.
Here's Dortch. Third straight completion from Hartman. Picks up about 5, maybe 6. Frederick the corner on the stop for Syracuse. Wake now showing a little thump here in their offensive attack. Colburn patiently waits and should have the first down at the 20 and will.
You know, both Colburn and Carney this season, you watch these games the Deacs have played, and I've never seen backs with such patience, with, you know, to just tiptoe through there, let it develop and go move those chains.
Wide open Washington. Sam Hartman to big Scotty Washington.
Boy, how about that drive? Talk about Syracuse getting in the groove. Look like the guys in black are grooving right now as well. Everything they try goes right. And, man, that's an impressive series. First series of the second half. And to answer, a much-needed answer after Syracuse came out and drove it right down the throat of their defense.
I'll tell you what now, the third down throw to Dortch, they pick up the first, and then what, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone. Skiba to make it an 11-point deficit, and does. Feels Scotty Washington a play, and then guess what happened? Touchdown, Scotty Washington.
How about the freshman? After he was just badgered the entire half and really rattled too. Goes 4 of 4 on that drive, 2 to Dortch and 2 to Washington. Most importantly, 7 points to answer. Now, defensively, what are you going to do? Because they had absolutely no answer for Syracuse on that opening drive. It didn't look like a very inspired effort from a defense that really showed at least some effort there throughout the first half. They have got to come out and play a little bit harder this series.
What concerns you most if you're Wake Forest about what the Orange did in that first drive, though? Is it the combination of the run and the pass here, or is it what Dungey was able to get the rhythm going?
To be honest, there were a couple plays that looked like guys that weren't fighting, and you know, it's a mindset, the mentality. One guy got blocked on the ground and just stayed there on the ground as Dungey ran by him. They were on the edge. Trill Williams, they can't have that.
Dungey with Elmore back there. Bang by Sternad at the line. No gain on the play, maybe a yard at most.
Go right in the middle. Look at your guy, the middle linebacker, Sternad. See, let him run those big bodies everywhere. Don't go chasing him. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to those rivers and the lakes that you're used to and go make a play for a 1-yard gain. You know, I mean, that is the difference when you talk about getting the feel with Luke Masterson. That's Sternad. Let him do all that.
Dungey a pump. Dials it back down low. This is Riley. First down. Look at Sean Riley. Man, the junior from Playa del Rey, California, with a big first down pickup, 14 yards.
I mean, just working, because those legs continue to move, just very slippery.
And that time, Nakeem Johnson, who's listed at 5'8", a $167, makes the catch, and that's about a 4-yard gain. First catch of the day for Johnson. Now here's Dungey, another quick throw. Riley going back to work. And Rebecca, he's got another first down for the Orange over the midfield line.
Well, guys, we all know his speed gives him his edge. His dad, who had a shot with the Giants back in the day, said, you're going to have to work 10 times harder because you're smaller, so he has. So when everyone settles in the evening, he goes back outside after practice and starts running hills.
Here's Dungey on a keeper on the read play. saving the touchdown for Wake Forest is Jaquez Williams there, James. 19-yard run for Dungey, who looked like he was breaking loose.
Well, and again, it's the defense. They've got to match this desire to go make plays and scrap. You know, yeah, there's been some injuries, but it's, you know, the want to has got to match that we just saw of Riley a couple plays ago, that of Dungey. Got to fight.
That time, Tyler Williams chops down Elmore. That's 6'1", 300, taking 6 feet, 285 down. You don't normally get two big ones like this.
Boom, and going low. Tyler Williams going low like he's a little guy. Williams moved in. We mentioned the injury to Boogie Basham at the defensive end spot, so they moved Tyler Williams inside. He's just a redshirt freshman.
Dungey's completed 13 in a row, make it 14. As that time, Taj Harris the catch, Sternad the linebacker with the stop. Third down coming up for the Orange as we go inside 6.5 to play in the third. We got a whole different feel to the second half than we did in the first half.
Absolutely, big change here. Substitution for Syracuse, so it allows Wake a chance to get some fresh bodies out there for this big third down play. And a very big one.
Wake trying to get lined up here. 3-by-2 look for the Orange.
Mo Neal is way up top. Sternad had to go up there and find a man-to-man up top here.
Dungey up in the pocket, has the first down. At the 5, has the touchdown. 26-yard touchdown run.
Everybody in coverage with their backs turned. They left the barn door open, and here comes a quarterback that'll make you pay when there's nobody left there at home. And making it look easy. You saw the disgust there from Dave Clausen. His defense is giving him a chance finally. They've slowed him down. Now we've got a chance on third down to get off the field.
The 5th rushing score of the day for the Orange is an ACC single game mark. 10th of the year for Eric Dungey. James.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Well, apparently run it.
What you gonna do when they run on you? On the ground, you know, hey, and this is a Syracuse team that's really, you know, buttered its bread through the air. That passing attack that they'll use to set up those run plays. But Wake Forest forced their hand into that, and they'll take it.
2:38 total offense for Eric Dungey as Wake will play from its 25, Rebecca.
And here comes the Syracuse defense. They were not happy at all about that last Wake touchdown. Coaches have been preaching better tackling all day long over here on the sidelines, but during that last offensive drive, coaches said to the D-line, do you want this game? Then you better act like it, because right now you're not. So a little motivation for these guys.
Yep. Deeks went 7 plays, 75 yards. For the score to Washington, and now the redshirt freshman from East Forsyth High School here in Winston-Salem, Christian Beal-Smith, has come in. And they get it to Dortch in traffic, a one-hand catch, and he'll pick up about 10 on the play. Sensational catch by Dortch. My goodness, the guy has just blown it up here in the second half.
Cordy goes after it, tries to make a play. Look at Dortch going up and getting it, and then outrunning Frederick to the corner.
Here's his 7th catch of the day. And close to another first down. Now this is something else by Dortch a moment ago.
Absolutely, the concentration, ball's a little bit high. He catches that ball as it's already past him. Just plucking it out of the air.
Hartman picks up 9.
Number 10, Sam Hartman.
To the ground. Look how fast they're going now. You know, Syracuse defensively, Rebecca hit on it. And they've got a guy down. That'll help them catch their breath a little bit. It's Trill Williams, the cornerback, a freshman. You know, and this has been a secondary. Frederick's been banged up. Scoop, Bradshaw, Melifonwu. Is that how I say it, Wes?
Pretty good. Melifonwu.
Ifeatu Melifonwu. There we go. I don't think he even made the trip today, so they've been banged up. So you see what Wake's trying to do now. I mean, when they get a positive play, they're putting it right back out there, giving Syracuse a taste of their own medicine. And it certainly worked on that opening drive and has so far here. Syracuse got to turn it around and make a big play of their own.
Straight ahead, Beal Smith. Still pushing the stack. Look at that. A little JOP by the Orange. Dave Clausen wants a flag, and one is thrown in. You can't JOP anymore.
You can't JOP, but you can't FOP. You can't flip over the pile.
Well, you can't jump on the pile like that either.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 18. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, that too.
So all that, you're in that pile. Oh, yeah, there you go. Who is it that does that flip in there? Who was that? Was that Robinson?
Oh, I don't think it was Robinson, was it? No.
That was not.
It was Robinson.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, it was. What in the world?
6'4", 250 pounds.
Here's Hartland. Well, he got tagged pretty good at the 16. Gain of about 3.5. 18-point lead for the Orange. Wake driving as the Deacs are in the CPI security red zone here. Hartman again. Trying to weave through. That's shy of the first down.
Boy, it's an offense that is really clicking here in the second half. Unfortunately for Wake, Syracuse has been too.
And Carney will pick up the first down. First and goal for Wake at the 8. Well, the way this second half's unfolded, James, you can't lose your turn, can you?
No, you got to hold serve.
Quick throw, Dortch the catch. Greg Dortch reaches. Touchdown.
Wow, what a football player. Man, is he a big-time player. It shows you now why when he woke up from his surgery last year when he was injured, his first question was, can I still play? And they said not anymore this year, and it just crushed him. It shows every single time he has an opportunity. He just loves to play football and make big plays for his football team. Just a couple incredible snags here in the second half alone.
Trying to get it back to an 11-point game. Kick is good. Boy, Dortch had a one-hand catch early in the possession, and then this beauty.
Well, just figures it out. He's going down. He's in the presence of mind to put that hand down. He's tripped up a little bit, stretch, and absolutely a touchdown. And a little bit extra there for Greg Dortch, the sophomore, just a sophomore from Richmond, Virginia.
You know, it's interesting, James. Dortch now here in the ball game has just kind of come alive. He's got 8 catches for 89 yards. He has 2 double-figure games. He had 12 catches in the season opener at Tulane. He had 11 for 163 with 4 touchdowns against Rice this year. I mean, now those are big explosion games, but even here today.
Well, and at this point in the season, everybody knows. It's not like he's a secret anymore. And so...
You mean it's not like Malik Carter last week?
Yeah, exactly. Who, by the way, what number was he wearing last night?
Came out and warmed up in 19 and wore 83 to play.
Oh, man. These 4 games that the freshmen can play in and still get their red shirt year makes it interesting. All new chess pieces out there.
Ford will kick it away. Riley waits. There hasn't been much for Sean Riley there and won't be here. So the Orange will start from their 25. We've had 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns here in the second half, and Eric Dungey has been sparkling on the ground today, James.
Well, on the ground, through the air when they need him, and himself tucking it and going when things are covered down the field. But most importantly with this offense, They have not turned the football over. They didn't do it in the close one last week in the win over number 22 NC State. Here he's taking care of the football, putting it in a spot where only his guy can get it. And not a burner, but just a gritty, smart football player with a great feel of the game. Defensively, can they create a turnover, get a stop?
There's a throw to Custis. 20 carries, $122 for Dungey, and the score a moment ago. And now another completion by Dungey, and this one to big 6'5" Jamal Custis. Redshirt senior from Philadelphia.
And there you go. Custis been on him a little bit earlier, not going up and attacking the football. That's a tough catch. Had to go back behind his body and to pull that one in.
Well, you talked about that completion streak he had last week to start the game against NC State. This is 16 in a row now as Custis picks up a couple on first down ahead of Amari Henderson. He just waited a while to get the streak going, James.
And you know, the thing is, everything is so quick with this offense of Dino Babers that it's tough to get back there and get sacks, strip the football. It's tough to get negative plays defensively.
Ooh, big lick on Johnson. Isang Bassi dropping the wood on him.
I'm a fan of Isang Bassi. I like the way he plays. I also like the freshman. Nasir Greer has really stood out today in the secondary for Wake Forest. They've had some excellent defenders come over the years. Jesse Bates was honored earlier. Third down.
Well, he's always been one of your favorites. For obvious reasons. You see 3rd and 2 here. 3-by-2 look. Dungey pumps. Custis couldn't hang on. Wake gets the stop. Bassi was there defensively.
One-on-one battles. Who wants it more? They leave Cameron Glenn there to make sure Dungey doesn't sneak out. He throws it out there. That's 3 times today. Big 17. Grew up wanting to be a basketball player. It wasn't until late in high school that he even decided to play football, but it's similar. Who wants the rebound more? You know, just go and attack that football at its highest point, or in this situation, go meet it. Reach out and grab it with those long arms. Good want-to by Bassi and a huge stop for Wake.
Hoffrichter. Wow, what a punt to Dortch, who plays at the 7 and is taken down by Custis. How about Jamal Custis earning his keep on punt cover there? The Deacs will scrimmage from their 6. Down 11 with 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd.
Well, Babers' first one over there. Give him a 5. I believe he's up top to Gunter. Babers called him the best gunner in college football. Look at him holding off the defender with those long arms. And then holding on for dear life the jersey of Dortch. You know, finally, the Deacs on defense, they get a stop. We're going to get the ball back. Here we've got Dortch, who's so dangerous, and boom, now they're faced with 94 yards to go to score a touchdown.
Quick thought on Custis, though. That's a lot to consider at the next level for a guy who play like that does on punt cover, doesn't it?
Well, absolutely, but he's also got to attack the football, help out offensively, though.
Carry by Colburn on first down. Pickup of about a half dozen. All right, now Syracuse stopped by Wake Forest. Can they take advantage of breaking the Orange's serve here, so to speak, right?
Well, they've got to get a negative play of their own now. They had so many in the first half, and here's another first down. It'll be a first down, and quickly Wake will be right over the ball, ready to snap it.
Colburn crashes through. They'll move the chains. Trill Williams, who was shaking up last possession.
Well, that was fast.
Here's Hartman. Look at this. On first down. Almost got another first down out beyond the 25. 75 seconds to go here in quarter 3, and Wake on the move.
And what did Dave Clausen tell Rebecca at halftime? The first down gains have been huge for him on this in the second half.
Whitner, the linebacker, moved in from the secondary. Syracuse lines up. They listed on their depth chart, James, as a 4-3. It's almost a 4-2-5, isn't it, the way Colin Whitner plays?
Well, and it changes, you know, when you go week to week who you're defending as well.
You see Sam Hartman plunge for a yard or 2. Second down coming up.
Finally starting to slow it up a little bit, and it's just It was one play after another with the big yardage. We'll see if they can get back-to-back here.
Throw on the perimeter. Here's Dortch. And he will be short of the first down with the clock at 24 seconds to go here in the third. 8 straight completions by Hartman now.
Yeah, but how about Dortch? Talk about fight. I mean, Trill Williams, he's going to drop him, and it's going to be 3rd down and 6. He just carries him with him.
Oh, and the ball is loose, and Hartman got back on it. But a big lick. Did Syracuse recover it? They did. How about that?
Just untouched. The ball's going to the ground.
Cisco. Yep, Cisco's the guy who was closest to it for the Orange.
And this one's on Hartman. Hartman looked like he was going to pull it out of the belly of Colburn.
So the final play of the third period will be off Wake's second turnover today.
It's a defense that came up with a huge turnover in the second half against NC State, the only turnover in the football game. And now they're second of the day, and they have not given it up again offensively.
Dungey, does he want to take the shot? Trying to buy time. Harris weaving back toward the pylon and makes the catch. Was he inbounds? No. Quarter ends is Red, the safety, the redshirt sophomore, made the play on Taj Harris. We picked up a little steam, though, in the 8th meeting between the Orange and the Deacs. Quarters of play in Winston-Salem. Our game summary brought to you by Ace Hardware. You see the time of possession, also a curious note here with the half-dozen sacks. And 5 rushing scores today for the Orange. We start the 4th with a pass out on the flat to Riley. And he'll have an Orange first down to the 22-yard line.
Turnovers, one thing you don't see there on our ace stats. 2 now. 2 fumbles by the freshman Hartman. And this one's so costly. The one in the first half really put Syracuse back in the mix. The momentum gave them the lead. Fumbled right there near the goal line. And this one, when everything seemed to be clicking for that Wake Forest offense.
Neal has come back in the ball game. Snap low. Dungey fields it. Flags down. Shoots it to the end zone for Pierce. And deflected away, but offside on Wake Forest.
Defense, number 6. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And the Orange, I think, knew. Chris Calhoun, by the way, the guilty party, because Dungey looked like he had a free play the way he threw that ball toward Pierce.
Right. I got to take care of our guy, Jamie. I guess turnovers were on that ace graphic, and I didn't see it. But nonetheless, very important. And, of course, Jamie's going to catch that. Yeah. Gosh, Jamie won't take my keys anymore late if I don't take care of them. So sorry, Jamie.
Here's Dungey, a quick throw, and threw a step behind. That's Devin Butler.
Boy, and he had him going full blast, too. There were good bodies in front of him to clear the way. May have been an easy trip into the end zone.
Yeah, Wake dodged the bullet there. That's just an unforced error by the Orange. Look at Neal now, James. He flexes out like a wingback to the left. Dungey trying to find the right avenue, and not much. Third down coming up.
Similar situation we had in the third quarter, other end of the field. Can you make the plays back-to-back now? Demon Deacon defense.
Tell you what, Dino Babers has got a powerful-looking football team at times. We've seen it on display here in the second half offensively. We saw it defensively in the first half. 3rd and 4. Quick throw in the flat, and this is Pierce. Resets after the initial contact. 1st and goal coming up. Bassey made a good hit, but Pierce just shed it.
Wow, what a nice little play. You've got Pierce lined up there on the end of the line as a tight end. There's the end of it. Bassey reacts, comes up there. He's going to make the stop, but you got to wrap up. You got to bring those arms as well. Ravion Pierce, the big senior from Plantation, Florida, getting it done.
Here's Dungey keeping. Masterson, and then some help arrived in the person of Travion Red. There's some growing pains going on in this Wake defensive unit, James. But guys like Masterson and Red, wow, Bassey's just a junior. A little time, a little water, you know. They'll grow up into big trees.
It just needs some birthdays.
Elmore's come in, 2nd and goal. Into the flat. Johnson can't do anything with it. Another good play in space. That was Red again.
Well, and that's how you do it. You make up your mind before those little quick guys can get those shoulders turned and get a shake on you. Go light them up. Just a heat-seeking missile, and go take that away from them. Read and react. Great reaction and a great stop. Pushing them backwards now.
3rd and goal. Dungey in zone. Can't pull the trigger. Custis couldn't pull it in. There were 2 Deacons there. I think he wanted to throw the ball earlier in the play here, James.
Well, he's pointing right now, and what he's trying to do, it looked like they were on a different page almost, like he was expecting the fade. Custis comes back. He's got that corner. That's the only spot he had with the 2 defenders in there and the big body, so a field goal try now.
Schmidt on the year. 21 of 23, and that one is good. First field goal of the day for Andre Schmidt. This man on that case, didn't we, James?
Yeah, he knows about crab meat. Johnny O's over there in Baltimore, right?
That's it, yep. Dortch, there'll be no return. Well, Greg Dortch here has been spectacular in the 2nd half, James. I mean, the one-hand catch aside, this guy's made plays.
Well, and again, he's not just doing it from his wide receiver spot, but he's doing it all over the field, just like you'd expect from a guy that's leading the league and one of the tops in the nation when it comes to all-purpose yards. There's that catch you were talking about. Just a fantastic catch. And again, the effort, the athleticism to get it in the end zone. 9 catches, almost 100 yards in that 1 touchdown. Helping Hartman feeling a little bit better as go-to guy, making the big plays for him.
Christian Beal-Smith in the backfield, and nothing there on 1st down. Ryan Guthrie, another stop defensively for the Orange. Impressed with Guthrie today. Boy, having to follow Zaire Franklin, who was just a 4-year stalwart at linebacker for the Orange. Hartman, and he'll be swung around by Kenneth Ruff. One of Bates's favorite new players in the league, I can tell.
he plays rough. That's a fitting name, isn't it? I mean, he's just powerful. Powerful, and I mean, so strong. Gets back there, and right there, Rebecca, that's why Hartman wants to gain 60 pounds, so that doesn't hurt quite as much.
Exactly.
Out in the flat, Beal-Smith. And about 5, maybe 6 to the 31 on 3rd down. And the Deacons are down 2 scores now, and 4 minutes gone in the 4th, and they're going for this. Hartman, the throw on 4th down, and broken up. And that was Antoine Cordy fighting Greg Dortch.
How many times you hear me say, where are those sticks? Where are they trying to get? Who are they trying to get to? They're going to get to Dortch. Where are they trying to go? Right past those sticks. Excellent play by Cordy.
Cathedral of Learning stayed on for 11 minutes last night, James, to honor the 11 victims of the Tree of Life synagogue massacre last Saturday. And we were in the Steel City for Pittsburgh and Duke. And let me just say that on behalf of our crew who was there last week, we have so much admiration and respect for the people of Pittsburgh.
Right.
And just the strength they showed last Saturday being at that game, and of course the strength they're continuing to show in the aftermath of the Tree of Life tragedy. But congratulations to Pat Narduzzi and those guys last night on the win at Virginia. That was an interesting ball game. Hard-fought ball game, by the way.
Hard-fought, back and forth fist fight. And when the dust settled in a close game, 1 turnover, Virginia, and then penalties. Too many penalties for Virginia. And that horse collar was, it was a heartbreaker for him.
Sure was. Here is Strickland. And Third down coming up, and here's a look at the updated Coastal, James.
How about it?
Hokies are at Heinz Field next week, by the way.
By the way, Georgia Tech and North Carolina neck and neck right now, going on the same time as us. But the Pitt Panthers putting that ground game together. Quadri Olison, though, he's not healthy. He tried to go last night, tried to fight it. It looked like he hurt his hamstring late in our game. So, fortunately for them, they've got Darren Hall as a very good backup. Now, one thing real quick, as they bring up this third down and short, you might question at home, why would Wake have gone for it with over 11 minutes? It's because they haven't been able to stop Syracuse. Just the thought of giving the ball back to them, they just haven't been able to stop them, and Syracuse will let the clock run down and take a timeout.
Another look at Bryce Perkins. We'll join you at 3 o'clock on our regional sports network. And out of the timeout, we'll get a pass interference. Cameron Glenn trying to defend Jamal Custis on the third down throw as Dungey took a shot when he cut it loose.
Pass intended for number 17, Jamal Custis.
By the way, Liberty is transitioning from FCS to FBS.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Here's another look at the intended pass.
Well, Glenn, he gets caught with the flat feet. I guess expecting Custis going to break it outside. Really has no choice but to just hug him up. Not let him run free into the end zone, but a tough one after that timeout.
Eric Dungey reminding this crew that the play clock was running. And so now they get a reset of it. And now they start the game clock. Quick throw out in the flat. Pierce. About 3 yards before Cameron Glenn gets him by the shoe tops. That one a little sidearm.
Yeah.
From number 2.
Little Bernie Kosar arm slot. Quick whip, though, a little bit quicker than Bernie used to throw it.
And more burning of the fourth period here by Syracuse, who leads by 2 scores and looking for more. With 2nd and 6 coming up at the 11.
It's got to feel odd for these guys on offense. They're so used to being open. Must seem like an eternity. They need to have their cell phones out there so they can check their email or any texts. Got some time to kill.
Here's Dungey on a keeper and will stay in bounds, and he's tackled at the 10-yard line. Luke Masterson the stop. Okay, now James, interesting because Eric Dungey last week against NC State, hot start. Throws the ball late to Harris for the game winner, right? But this is a different kind of performance today. This is one with his feet as much as with his arm, right? I mean, is it dynamically different?
No, I mean, just leading the charge, however, whatever they're going to give you. Week to week defensively, what do they feel like they can stop, or what do they feel like, personnel-wise, Wake Forest, what can you do to, just control it a little bit? And shows a good coaching staff and an offensive leader in Dungey.
In trouble, he'll take the sack from Tyler Williams.
Job Tyler Williams continuing to fight, and Dungey, boy, pulled that ball out of there like he was going to try to do something with it. That's what you absolutely can't do. If you can kick a field goal here, this game is just about shut down.
And here comes Andre Schmidt, the redshirt freshman from Vernon Hills, Illinois, who's on a couple of mid-season All-America lists for his first half performance as a rookie.
He had the 51-yarder against Clemson.
Nolan Cooney will hold. Polinsky handles the snap for him. And
timeout.
the Orange take a timeout.
Their second timeout of the half.
7:05 here to play in Winston-Salem.
Timeout.
Dino Babers actually called him a godsend. Schmidt.
So a timeout by Dino Babers, and second half's been a little different than the first, James.
Well, it's a little bit different because you have the high-flying Wake Forest offense to match. Here's the touchdown pass to Washington from Hartman. That first drive for the Deeks in the second half. And here's the crusher on a third down. Not only does Dungey tuck it and go get the first down, but gets 6 points as well. Here's Dortch's only touchdown of the day. on about 10 receptions, trying to hang around. Still 7 minutes left to play, and the defense stiffens a little bit right here after they go for it on 4th down. But still, this will make it a 3-score difference.
34-yard try for Schmidt. And it will be perfect. 7:01 to go in one day or during the year, and you go, I think there's a guy on the bench wearing a kilt. There is. Dave Churko is an intern in the strength and conditioning program of Sean Ettinger. Now, Sean was with Dino Babers at Bowling Green, and he picks an intern in his program every year to kind of create, motivate, take your mind maybe off the moment, and arms him with a kilt. Dave, by the way, is not Scottish. He's not Irish. But he's got a kilt, James.
I like it.
And it's kind of become a thing in Central New York, by the way. Popular among the community, as they say. Dortch will not return the kick.
Dave's friends need to text him, say, Dave, we saw you on the sidelines on TV. And he'll reply, how did I do? And they can say, you killed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what they can say?
This is William Wallace. I mean, talk about motivation.
Yeah.
First thing comes to mind for me.
By the way, he was running the stretch early, you know, when they came out first time today. Are you going to go tell him it looks bad? I'm not.
Nope.
Ball at the 25 for the Deacs. Trailing by 17, Hartman and Wake Forest try to get to work here. That's Alex Bachman. 9 yards on first down. First catch of the day for Bachman out of Moore Park, California. Comes in as their 3rd leading receiver on the year.
And he's been big. He's really come on as a nice receiver. Hard to believe it's the first time he's gotten his hands on the ball.
Colburn's got the first down. 6.5 minutes to go. They'll move the chains, and Wake Forest right back to work here. And now Hartman wants to cut it loose. Stop and go on the backside, and the catch is made by Bachman. Took a big lick in Orange territory at the 37.
Well, showing you right here, I mean, in this whole second half, look at Hartman. When he feels comfortable in there, I mean, that's a strike. And that's showing you why Cam Serenay, when he was talking to Rebecca earlier, he's so high on the young quarterback.
Ball down at the 30 is Colburn, and let's check with Rebecca on Sam Hartman.
Yeah, guys, he was really upset when he came to the sidelines after that last offensive drive. Slammed down his helmet. He let the phone continue ringing a few extra times while he did some deep breathing before he answered it. It is the first time today I have seen him not powwow with his offense on the bench. It looked like he was just trying to regain his composure.
First down throw to Bachman. We got an injured Orange player, and it's Alton Robinson who is shaken up on the play. So Robinson is down with 5:47 to play. 1st and 10, Wake Forest at the Orange 15 when play resumes.
Well, Rebecca talking about the fire there in the belly of Hartman. And isn't it interesting that you'd think, oh gosh, hey, you got to stay level-headed because it's been an issue where he's gotten the pressure on him. He's gotten hit a couple times, and he's gone the wrong way during the course of a game. He comes over, he's fired up, and he comes out on fire. You're going to see left side of the screen as we take a look, try to find out what's going on with Alton Robinson here, who's had a nice day. He and his defensive lineman buddies, and and it was, he's double teamed over there, and then hopefully it's just a cramp of sorts. Didn't see him go down. Maybe it's the after effects of that flip he did over the pile earlier.
Pretty good half for Sam Hartman, 12 of 13 for 155.
You like to see, though. I mean, your quarterback that can get angry like that, get some fire, then come out and sling it around the yard. I mean, that's got to be exciting, even if you can't figure out a way to get back and win this game.
Hartman to the end zone and intercepted. Christopher Frederick gets his 3rd interception of the year. Third turnover of the day for Wake Forest. Frederick lost his helmet in the process as he was battling with Washington.
Well, and it's a nice job by Frederick. It's right there in his hip pocket. There are flags going on down on the field right now, but you know, we've talked about it. You're right there. You're in the pocket.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 3 of Syracuse. That is number 3's first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game. Half the distance to the goal from the 20 back to the 10. First down, Syracuse.
Oh, you mean you're not allowed to take a victory lap around BB&T Field after you intercept a ball?
I don't think so.
Where is that in the book?
Don't think so. Plus, he lost his helmet in the process, and next thing you know, they're...
Hey, we're going to need that ball.
Why did they get it? Who saw it?
But, you know, a nice play there by Frederick. In position, snap that head around, make a play on the ball. All that Hartman just trying to force in there and hope that his big guy in Washington can come up with it.
Orange with the ball, and here is Dante Strickland. 15 and a first down.
And they'll stand back over it like they were earlier and let that play clock tick all the way down. They'd have about 2 or 3 snaps in by now. Regular situation, course of the game.
5 minutes left, and Syracuse is on the way to snapping in the 8-game losing streak on the road in the ACC. They would go to 7-2 and 4-2, and James, they're lurking. You know what I mean, in the Atlantic?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting discussion with... Well, remember now, they still have Boston College. And here's a look at our Logan's Roadhouse upcoming schedule as the timeout's taken by Dino Babers. At BC, Notre Dame in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. And next Friday night, Louisville, who is trailing Clemson by 61 with under 4 minutes to go at Frank Howard Field and Memorial Stadium today.
Wow.
77-16, the Tigers lead. By the way, Georgia Tech has taken the lead on North Carolina in the final 140 and could punch in again here before they finish at Kenan Stadium. Now Syracuse gets Louisville on Friday night. Faster turnaround for Dave Clausen. He's got to go to Raleigh, or actually, yeah, got to go to Raleigh Thursday night to meet NC State, who is getting ready to start with Florida State here at the bottom of the hour.
Well, and here they are sitting on 4 wins. So thinking maybe they can come in here and compete and find a way to win today. Doesn't look like it'll happen right now. And so in those 3 games, can they find a way to get 2 more wins and get to a bowl game?
3rd and 5 coming up. Wake Forest takes a timeout.
After that NC State game, they've got Pitt and then at Duke. And we were here at the end of the year last year.
Right.
When it was Duke that was needing that 6th win. It was an exciting game. And Coach Cutcliffe and his Blue Devils.
Well, Daniel Jones came in here and looked tremendous in guiding Duke to bowl eligibility. And, of course, Wake went on to beat Texas A&M in the Belk Bowl. And here's a look at the Logan's Roadhouse for Wake Forest. At State on Thursday night, then Pittsburgh. Now, all of a sudden, the Panthers have a lot on the line, don't they? Virginia Tech next week, and then a trip to Winston-Salem, and then James told you about the year-ender over at Wallace Wade Outdoor Stadium. 3rd and 5 out of the Dave Clausen timeout here for the Orange. See Wake and the Syracuse both down to their final timeout. And there is Strickland just running at Isang Bassi, and that'll be a first down. And the clock will roll now.
Wow. All the way to the very end. It's just some strong running behind some big bodies. Elmore's in there, the big tight end who scored a touchdown himself. And there's Bassi again. You know, stepping up there, putting his nose in it.
And this clock will be inside of 4 minutes when Eric Dungey snaps it. Mo Neal's coming to the ball game to replace Strickland. And they'll hand it to Neal. And it'll be second down, and the Orange, looking at winning their third straight. They will have scored 40 or more in 6 games. James, this is our first look live at Syracuse. I've been impressed at the way they've been able to change gears today. Defensively in the first half for Dino Babers, very offensive in the second half.
Well, and just the way that they've adapted and found a way to be successful and to win the football game. You know, it's running the football. It's not what they do all the time, but if that's what they need to do to win a football game, hey, that's absolutely what we're going to do. And Dungey looked like he had a little bit of trouble with that snap. And again, if this holds, they'll go another game without turning it over.
Snap infraction.
Yep.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
417 yards and no turnovers.
And already a team, Dino Babers squad, +9 coming in the turnover margin. Number 1 in the ACC and one of the tops in the nation.
Yeah.
You know, and adding 2 to that, they got 2. Well, 3 now.
3.
Yeah, 3 with the interception.
Well,
they're 2 fumbles.
They're +12 on the year, but now, James, they're going to be +7 in ACC play. And as you mentioned, 2 in a row, and there's another running play on 2nd and 12.
And I find, you know, one of the most puzzling stats is the fact that they lost 8 ACC games in a row on the road. That's surprising to me, because even though they haven't been world beaters, they've had Eric Dungey run the show. They've had some outstanding athletes, Ishmael, and I mean some great linebackers. Defensively, they've been good, but to be unable to go on the road and to come back with a win, I mean, it's going to be a fun plane trip home for these guys. And not to mention the excitement that's now into the Carrier Dome.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're going to have a chance to go and play in the Carrier Dome. When's the last time they were ranked in playing in front of that crowd?
Well, here's the other thing, too. We've already told you about the game next Friday night. I'm going to tell you that there might be a different feeling. I don't know what's going to happen today in suburban Chicago. But I'll tell you this, on November 17th, there might be an interesting feel to a game in the Bronx with Notre Dame, James. I mean, they've got Northwestern today, and Pat Fitzgerald's team leads the Big Ten West as an injured Syracuse player has stopped the clock. Mo Neal with 2:26 to play. And another look at the play here. And Neal is down and still down. They'll tend to him. But, James, I would offer to you that Syracuse could be a problem for the Irish or Brian Kelly, who've been revitalized on offense with Ian Book and have been pretty good on defense all year. But this is a different kind of Syracuse team than you and I have seen the last handful of years. I mean, this is a developed program for Dino Babers in just 3 seasons. And he thought in July, when we saw him in Charlotte at the start of the ACC football kickoff, he said, you know, in year 3, we're usually pretty good. And my stops at Eastern Illinois, and, of course, what he was doing at Bowling Green. And the same can be said for Dave Clausen. Yes, they've had a couple bowl games, but they've been besieged by injuries. And he said yesterday to us, and I thought this was a really interesting and insightful answer, we are a grinder program. We're the kind of program where the way we have to recruit, the opportunity we offer here, you got to come here and get built.
Right. And that's why I found it interesting, too. That's why he said, you know, we get somebody hurt, and we don't necessarily have these 5-star freshmen just waiting in the wings. All right, sorry about this, but you're going to go ahead and play a little bit earlier than we expected. They're guys that have to develop.
Yep.
You know, if there's, and he said it too. He said, if there's a 5-star freshman that's ready to play right now, there's a good chance that we're not going to get him. Very candid.
Hofrichter to punt. Dortch waits, and he'll just skip it over the top. Dortch at the 15. And he'll be taken down at about the 23-yard line. Terrell Richards was there on the punt cover. Well, here's the way the Atlantic looks. And
if Clemson hangs on.
We've awarded Clemson.
Oh, okay.
We've awarded Clemson the win.
Boston College. Just, you know, how about all these coaches? Clausen, Babers, Steve Adazio, they're at BC.
Yeah.
Fantastic job.
Well, Dave Dorn and NC State have Willie Taggart, Florida State.
And that Syracuse BC game at the end of the year up on Chestnut Hill, that should be a battle.
That'll be a fall-day go, won't it? There's a long throw looking near side. Sage Surratt hauls it in. First down across midfield. 2:09 to play, and Wake Forest trying to get right back into Rumble C.
Keep on going. Sam Hartman showing off that arm again.
Hartman wants to gun it again. Moving around in the pocket, and that's caught. Surratt, another one. First down at the 31. 17-yard throw there.
It's been a nice second half for Hartman. He threw the interception there in the end zone trying to force one in, but man, he's thrown a pretty ball. It's almost like it took going into that locker room at halftime and just kind of talking it over with Ruggiero and calming back down. Seemed like this defensive line was in his dome a little bit.
Hartman working his way around. Back in the middle, Freudenthal the catch. The big tight end inside the 20 before he's knocked back after a 13-yard throw. Just 10 seconds off the clock, James.
And I understand this is a prevent defense, so he should be able to kind of pick apart a little bit here and there. But just a nice touch on the ball and throwing a pretty ball.
Hartman will throw it out of bounds, and a flag is thrown as he was chased down by Richards.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 42. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Going to go at his legs here, and that's one thing. A point of emphasis over the last couple of years has been protecting the legs of a defenseless quarterback. But at the same time, when he's out of that pocket and he's a runner, it makes it really tough on a defender. Am I going after him, trying to bring him down as a runner, or is he going to throw the football?
First and goal at the 9 now for the Deeks. Hartman giving ground. Sails it over the top of Surratt. So it'll be second down and goal with 90 seconds to play. So the Orange will move on. They'll meet Louisville next Friday night. We told you Wake's headed to Raleigh on a quick turnaround for Dave Clausen's team. Coast. Look at that, James. There's where the turnovers get you, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of those penalties in the first half, too.
Hartman looking to throw, hit as he does. There'll be a flag thrown on the play. Hartman went down under the pass rush of Slayton, I believe. Yep, big Chris Slayton, 95. Turned the edge, and this could have been a lot worse, and Sam is shaking up a little.
He's hobbling. Yeah, they were coming.
Holding. Offense. Number 71. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
10th penalty on Wake Forest. Wow.
Go low and high, and hopefully Hartman's okay. The holding's going to be on the left side of your screen. There you see him. Gilliam's beat and just tries to dive and pull him down. Saints can go from the 20.
Orange around him again. He'll throw to the end zone. Surratt, the intended receiver. James, the thing I think we caught our eye and talked about yesterday with Dave Clausen is that, and with Warren Ruggiero, the OC of the Deeks, is that last throw is not in Sam Hartman's head. He moves on to the next throw pretty quick, it seems like.
Well, when they get after him, though, when they hit him, that's where they're trying to get him to, and that's where he had trouble in the first half.
Right.
They got to him, they hit him, and it took him out of his game.
Surratt is going to be tackled inbounds. Waits out of timeouts. And now 3rd and goal becomes 4th and goal. With a minute to go. Hartman can barely move now. Cuts it loose. And it is incomplete. And the Orange will give it away, or the Deacs will give it away on downs, and Hartman hit the ground. I hope he's okay. Tough kid is this freshman from just outside of Charlotte. But the turnovers are going to doom the Deacons today, I think, James.
Boy, he's hobbling getting off the field. Tough guy, and took, gosh, there wasn't even any contact there. So I really hope he's going to be all right to turn it back around and go face NC State on a short week at that.
And just a couple touches of the knee, and the Orange will move to 7-2, and they'll be 4-2 in the ACC. Dino Baber's team has come south and picked up the Atlantic Division win. And I would say that the native of San Diego picks up his 15th win as the head coach of the Orange today, and they got to be pretty pleased with the effort he got from his club.
Think you'll go back in there and give him a whose house? Our house.
Well, we found out this week that Dino Babers went to a family reunion when he was on the staff at Purdue and passed up a chance to be an extra in the movie Hoosiers. I think it worked out okay. Pretty good football coaching career is underway in Central New York, isn't it?
He got caught watching the paint dry.
Orange on the board. They win 41-24, snap the 8-game losing streak on the road in the ACC. And on to host Louisville Friday night. 17-point victory. Final word from BB&T Field after